Hey man, was I supposed to bring the fireworks or the lighter?
Doesn't matter. Kid motorcycle up there's blowing up our spot.
Yeah, if he's not careful, he's gonna paralyze his eye.
Holy shit, look at that cat. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, and he walks like an Egyptian.
Oh shit, I think he saw us.
Here comes the spooky!
Hey, what's going on, Chuds and CHUD-ettes? Here comes the Spookies back with episode 6. Today we're going to talk to you about a fantastic horror movie called Silver Bullet. We're going to run down a list of the 30 best horror movies that were on Chive. So sit back, relax, and tie your buddy to a chair, making him enjoy your second favorite podcast. Hey, Nachos, how you doing tonight, buddy?
How are you doing, Cincinnati Jeff?
Ooh, that was a good one. You ready to talk some werewolf movies?
You know I'm ready to talk some fucking werewolf movies.
Oh, man, this movie's such a treat. But before we get to it, got a couple of talking points and some news.
Start off right.
Oh, there you go.
And we're back.
So one of the first things is a Hulu series called Castle Rock, which was created with Stephen King and J.J. Abrams, which is kind of based in Castle Rock, Maine, where Stephen King does a lot of his horror movie or novels, and the movies are set like Evil Things. The season 2 is going to be a prequel to Misery.
Oh,
so you've got Kathy Bates' character. I believe she has a daughter or maybe like a niece or something. It doesn't come out until like October 23rd is the first episode. So I've never watched the first one.
Me neither. Don't feel bad.
But I've always been
good.
interested. And so I'm like, okay, with this one, I'm definitely going to check it out. Kind of like with American Horror Story. I wasn't too into it until they started doing the slasher shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to check this one out. Looks pretty exciting. Plus, I mean, a prequel to Kathy Bates' character, like...
They kind of tackle that in Misery, like all of her backstory. Fun fact, I've seen Misery 100 times, but I didn't finish it until like the 99th time.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
How do you not finish it?
I get to that hobbling scene, and then I just fucking check out. I'm just like, ugh.
That's the best part.
I don't know, man. That whole movie's pretty solid.
I think originally they were going to cut James Caan's legs off, and then they just thought that was too much. So they went with the hobbling scene instead, which I got to be honest, I think
that's
fucking
way more impactful.
Right?
Is that a word?
Hard to watch. Anytime I ask somebody, I'm like, hey, have you seen Misery? And they're like, no. I'm like, do you know what hobbling is? And they're like, no. I'm like, cool.
You gonna...
That's my prerequisite. If you want to watch Misery, 1, you can never see it. 2, you got to not know what hobbling is. Don't look it up or anything like that. So if you're out there listening, you're like, I've never seen Misery. I don't know what hobbling is. Don't Google hobbling. Just watch the fucking movie. You'll know exactly what fucking scene we're talking about when you get to it and you go, oh, that's what hobbling is. It is still to this day, which I think came out in 1990, is one of the hardest fucking movies to watch. Like that scene is so intense.
It is a great first date movie. Or if you want to impress like your gal or folks' fucking parents or whatever, gather around, have them watch it.
Oh, it's so fun.
If they don't freak out, get out of that fucking relationship, get out of that house, get out of that zip code.
Right? If they're real comfortable with that movie, I gotta get out of this place.
It's not gonna fare well for you.
So next up, we've got The Chive. They put out a list of the 30 greatest horror movies voted on by fans over at ranker.com. This was suggested to us by one of our listeners, Mr. Alex Gudek.
He's so goody.
So Goody, if you're out there, thank you very much for the tip. So,
hey, buddy.
I got this list here. I wanted to go down with you, see if you agree. And then I got a couple things I wanted to mention about the movies on this list. First movie, number 30, The Sixth Sense.
I was just talking about this the other day, man. I know my girlfriend won't listen to this episode because she doesn't listen to our fucking podcast. Jerk. So she had never seen The Sixth Sense, and
Did you ruin it for her?
No, I'm not a piece of shit. And actually, I'm watching through because I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years, and I remember specific scenes where Bruce Chili Willy is touching doorknobs and interacting with people, and I might have been fucking tripping, dog, because I'm going through. I'm like, this is good.
No, they were pretty careful not to do it.
Also, why do they write kids so fucking smart like that in movies? Do you remember being 5? I was like licking the wall and shit.
Is
he
5 in that?
Or, like 8 or whatever. He's like, I dressed myself, mother. I'm ready for Pop-Tarts. Continue.
Number 29, Insidious.
Never saw it.
Number 28, the Amityville Horror, the 1979 version.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, that's a good one. 27.
Jody is a pig with light up eyes and a wig on.
I know. I liked it. The remake is it's
Ryan Reynolds with his shirt off, chopping wood, saying, "We're friends. We're having fun."
But I mean, the first one.
No,
the original,
you can't top that.
I mean, it's Margot Kidder.
Oh, so good.
James
Brolin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Josh is Thanos.
Yeah.
Or
James
Cable.
Brolin. 27 is Misery, which we just talked about.
I think we just sucked that movie's dick off enough.
26. I know you hate it. American Werewolf in London.
I don't hate it. It's just I feels like it's just a movie with sequences happening. It's kind of a John Landis thing. I'm not here to shit on that.
You feel it's like too well liked, and there's like better werewolf movies out there?
Ooh, I could think of one that we might be talking about here in a minute.
I really like American Werewolf in London. It's one of the first horror
fun
movies I've ever seen. My parents suggested it, of all people.
David Naughton's really good in that. I mean, there's great shit about this movie, but it's not like top 10.
I like the practical effects of the transformations. It was
that
very sweaty and just
almost
gross.
Said Kenny Baker. Yeah, R2-D2 is doing the special effects. It's fucking
Is it Rick Baker that does it?
It's Rick Baker. Thank you, Summer School, the movie.
25, The Conjuring.
Which one's that? Is that the rated R one with
The Conjuring with it's like the prequel to
The Nun and Annabelle and all that
Yeah.
shit. Oh man, I thought, because I'm just fucking done with ghost movies, I thought that was going to be real stupid. Then I watched it and I was like, this movie is fucking legit. Jeff, you got any thoughts on that?
I really liked The Conjuring. I was not a fan of the sequel or The Nun or however many
The
fucking Nun
spin-off,
movies,
the shoehorn,
Annabelle and all that shit. But the Conjuring was good.
It conjured a really good time for the family.
Number 24, Hellraiser.
Fucking right, dude.
That movie is just... I enjoy the second one a lot more.
I think the sequels are good up till about 4, and then they just become loveless.
I definitely go 1 through 3. I love that they bring in the Spire of Pain, like in the basement of the club in 3. But you also get fucking CD Man.
Yeah, they got a little lazy with those Cenobites. My name's Camera Face. What do you do?
Right, just bringing in fucking modern technology.
It's genuinely like they were in the fucking writer's room, like, CDs. If they remade that, what is that, fucking MP3 face?
They should bring it back old school and have like VHS fucking like chess, like video drone style, but it fucking...
I'd watch that.
But it's not even VHS, it's like Betamax.
Oh, would like in the remake, would it be the Spotify? He's gonna recommend you some music that you might like, but
that when you listen to, you'll kill yourself, like The Ring.
Right, it's such a good list, you'll kill yourself.
Number 23 is Pet Sematary, the 89 version.
Oh, you mean the only one?
Yeah.
Part 2's fun. Genuinely, we just had this.
I do like Part 2. I am a fan of Part 2.
It's not bad.
Clancy
it's just
Brown.
It's a different thing.
It is. It's a totally different movie.
It's a music video
Furlong
with fucking Clancy
fun.
Brown being bonkers the entire time.
He is fucking
and the dude from ER.
Over the top nuts.
Holy shit. Who's the fucking douchebag, the villain kid in that movie?
He's a piece of shit in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he is.
He's in a ton of shit.
He's
from the
not
80s.
the brother from Wonder Years.
No,
but
he's not.
I'd like to fucking punch his face inside out.
Like, he's got one of those fucking, like, I don't know his name, but when you see him, you're like, okay, I know that he's been in other shit.
His name is Scotty Shitbag. You're gonna just grab a kitten up like a fucking Lancashire sandwich and tear ass around on your bike? Not cool, dude. But also, Eddie Furlong, you shouldn't be bringing fucking kitties to school. This ain't show and tell.
Right? It's bad form.
That's how I feel about the fucking not witness protection, the emotional support animals. That's very unfair. I work at Riverport. Some chick brought a pony in. A Shetland fucking pony. I don't like horses. I like Shetland ponies. I'm like, can I pet it? It's like, no. I'm like, you're an asshole. You're going to bring in this fucking adorable animal.
It's my seeing eye pony.
I'm going to shut up so you can get to the next one.
I was actually kicked off a plane. I wasn't kicked off, but everybody was asked to be removed because this lady in the front had her support cat, but it wasn't like a registered animal. Like, it was just a fucking cat. And she wouldn't put it in like the little crate. And she freaked out. So she called 911 from inside the plane because she thought that she was just being wronged in some way. And
man, after 9/11, don't fuck around with nothing on a plane.
They were like, so if you do this, we have to kick you off. But before we do that, we got to make everybody fucking exit the plane. And then we're going to arrest you. So that's what happened. It was really fun and really enjoyed it and just fucking made my day.
That's actually the prequel of Snakes on a Plane.
Number 22 is Saw.
Yeah.
Did you see Saw?
Seesaw. Yeah, I see Saw. First one's fucking great.
Seesaw? I don't even know her.
I barely even met her.
The first one is good. That's the one
I
I've got
give
on
it
the list.
to the first 3, and then I check out, because
I do
that
like
fucking
2.
timeline.
Donnie Wahlberg, fantastic.
And you get fucking girl from Seventh Heaven. It's the little sister, and she's like on Smack or something.
And you get the chick from the first one, the reverse bear trap chick. She's back, the junkie.
Oh, Shawnee Smith. We
His
saw
apprentice.
her in The Blob.
Yep.
This.
She's
past
also
weekend.
in the Stand, the Stephen King movie.
Never saw. Eddie Winslow is in one of those. I think he's in part 2 or 3.
I think he's in 2.
Yeah.
Think
Fuck, I
so.
don't know. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen him too. I haven't
Dude,
even
that
seen
syringe
Jigsaw.
pit. Oh,
Yeah, that's the hard scene to watch.
that's
right there,
pretty
baby.
gross.
Number 21 is The Omen, the 1976 one.
Yeah, that's classic.
It's all for you, Damien.
Oh my god, that is. And then the way like she fucking jumps, snaps her neck, and then like swings into the window, doesn't break it out, but like bashes it. I'll straight say, man, that remake wasn't fucking garbage.
No.
That little kid was legit. Liv Schreiber, Cotton Weary from Scream.
Liv Schreiber.
Yeah, there we
playing
go.
Gregory Peck's character.
Right, he was good. I think the only thing that kind of set me back from that movie is like Damien's tear ass around, not on the 3-wheeler, but he has like the fucking the scooter, the razor scooter,
Like the power scooter thing.
right? Oh, and fucking Styles, what's her face?
Julia.
Julia Stiles and her fucking stupid head.
Hot
Sorry,
body,
hey,
weird face.
Julia, if you're listening, get some fucking work done, dude. Your head is a nightmare. It's like somebody carved a jack-o'-lantern and like a 3-inch circumference in the middle, and the rest is just your fucking head.
It looks like you and Kirsten Dunst, when you were like 12, just took a running jump at each other and just fucking smashed faces and just see what fucking would stick afterwards.
Kirsten Dunst's head looks like a catfish had sex with a Rubik's Cube. And then, like, had some real nice tits. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Number 20 is Carrie, the 1976 version.
Plug it up! Plug it up!
That is fucking...
Dude, that movie's legit.
That is
You get PJ Scholl,
that is a fun movie.
fucking John Travolta, fucking old girl from RoboCop.
My great-grandma had a picture that's in the scenes where like her mom's fucking whipping her and like fucking giving her all the religion fucking like teachings and shit. It's that picture from the Bible depicting the scene of Thomas the Doubter where he walks up to Jesus Christ and doesn't believe that he was actually fucking speared in the side, and he fucking sticks his hand into the fucking wound
Getting all goopy on JC.
where the fucking spear of destiny fucking struck Jesus, and like that's the picture that's hanging, and she fucking had like the exact same fucking one. I remember it. It's
I
fucking
don't-
super creepy.
As a guy that went to Catholic school, I don't remember Thomas the Doubter. Doubting Thomas, son of a bit. No,
Yep.
Peeping whatever.
Doubting Thomas. Yeah.
I feel that should be like a progressive Christian rock band name if it isn't already.
It was creepy. Let's see. Number 19, The Ring.
Yeah. No, that first one's legit. When you see that chick in the fucking closet for the first time and her face is all derped out. Brian Cox is in it.
Yeah, he is. I like the scene where the mom's watching the movie like over and over again to like try and like stretch the image to like see what else she can find. If she can like figure out where the lighthouse is located.
Where the camera angle should be,
She's
but
like
it
fucking
isn't.
grabbing the fly off the fucking
It's
screen and stuff.
witchcraft.
That was real cool.
So who is? I can never remember that chick's name. Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
She's good in that. That little kid who's in the Chainsaw Massacre remake, he's fucking good at that. Brian Cox is in it. That horse kills itself. Fuck you, horse. See, article 2 when I'm talking about ponies.
Brian Cox is fantastic in anything.
He's a treasure in everything. He could be like shitting in my mailbox. I'd be like, keep up the good work. So he'd be like, I know what I'm fucking doing.
Number 18, Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
I give it to Day of the Dead.
I'm a Day of the Dead fan.
I was gonna say like I'm the only person on that iceberg. Like, yeah, Day of the Dead.
Nope, I'm on the iceberg right next to you.
Like I get it. Day of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead is fucking a classic.
Right.
And I'm not mad at that movie. I think the only reason I'm kind of schmeh about Dawn of the Dead is that people just suck that movie's dick off so hard.
It's got a lot of like social commentary that is lost on me because I wasn't a product of that age.
Yeah.
So it's kind of over the top for me. I do like the movie. I fucking love zombie movies. I'm a very fucking
Ken
like
Forte is fucking great. Forte,
I think.
Yeah, that dude's fucking. That dude's a beast. He's great in everything.
Savani's in it.
Yes, he is, and he reprises that role in. What's that? Survival. The one. What's the one with Hot Dog, Dennis Hopper? Land of the Dead. Yeah, Savani comes back and reprises that role as Machete.
I love those first four because I look at them as like a series of movies because they take place in different like time periods, right? You got the 60s, then like the late 70s, early 80s, then the 80s, and then basically in Land of the Dead, like they're now
the
surviving.
90s.
Yeah.
Oh, because we had Tom Savani's remake of Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd and Patricia's. I can't think of her fucking name.
Is it Stevens?
Steelman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's awesome though.
She is.
She played not a lot of vagina, but Robin Swallows in Austin Powers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this a man, baby? And then it really is. That's her.
Then you got number 17, the original Evil Dead, 1981.
I prefer the second one, but you got to respect that first one, man.
The first one was... I find the first one to be a lot creepier than the second one. A lot more happens in the second one. There's a lot more characters, because a lot of motherfuckers die off pretty early in the original Evil Dead, and then you just get basically Bruce versus a bunch of fucking ghouls.
I love, like, the simplicity and intricacies of the fucking ghouls. There's a scene that, until it came out on fucking DVD and Blu-ray, when all the ghouls are melting at the end, it's one of the witchy poo chicks, and she's like, and her head's bubbling and shit, and you know it's claymation. You're like, how did they do that? But then, like, the fucking claymation model shifts, and you can tell they superimposed it. And, dude, for, like, what, 1980, 81? That's still really fucking cool, and for made on, like, a shoestring budget.
And what's great is that they got the claymation so right, even back then, is like opposed to, like, when you watch, like, Basket Case.
Yeah.
And you see fucking, what's its nuts?
Belial
fucking hate walking across the fucking floor like it's a goddamn Gumby cartoon.
My brother looks like a squashed octopus.
Let's see. Number 16, Child's Play, the 1988 one.
Yep. Aunt Maggie was a nosy bitch and got what she had coming to her.
Yeah, she got what she deserved. That's a solid movie. And I love how they set that up, like, to still kind of question whether it's Andy. They were originally going to go with, like, more of a surprise reveal towards the end that it wasn't Andy and play on more of that, you know.
I'm glad they went Alex Vincent. That's who it is. I remembered his name. That kid is so fucking legit in that movie and adorable. I feel bad for him. And, like, when he cries, I want to, like, hey, pause the movie. Hold up. Come here, little buddy. It's going to be okay.
I'll hold you.
Dude, so, because, you know, you can't get through an episode without talking about fucking Whorehound. They had that Child's Play panel, and this was the after party, and I was, like, 30 sheets, or... I was very inebriated, and I saw him, and I pulled the dumbest fucking move ever. I said, hey, man, it's you from that thing. He's just like, yeah, that's me, the guy from that thing. So, Alex Vincent, if you were listening, I know who you are. It's okay, buddy.
Man, yeah, you really just got him just fucking jonesing for really wanting to talk to you, didn't you?
Right? He's like, oh boy, the pinnacle of my evening, this elevator.
Number 15, Rosemary's Baby.
Not gonna lie, never seen it.
Really?
Yep.
That's a pretty good one. It's a slow burner, but, you know, it was the 60s. It's got Mia Farrow as Rosemary. Pretty fun stuff. I like it. He
has his father's eyes. Right, that's that.
It's a good one. But it's not for everybody, especially because it is very much a product of its time.
I just picture like a little Al Pacino popping up from the fucking bassinet. Is that what those things are?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I don't have a baby and I know baby stuff. Bassinet, like, I'm little Al Pacino. This is how I talk. This is a really good impersonation. Moving on.
Number 14, Night of the Living Dead, the 1968.
It's good. I like the fucking Savani one better because it's Savani. I respect the movie because, fuck, dude, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have modern zombie movies.
That is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the original over the 90s remake. Not that the 90s remake isn't good. It is damn good. But I just love that original one. It basically set the rules for all fucking zombies, which is fucking fantastic. What bothers me a lot about it is that it is like the rights weren't properly secured.
Romero got fucking hosed
in the back in the day, so it's in public domain, so anybody can get it and release it. You can watch it online for free. And what's weird is I've got like maybe 5 or 6 different versions of it where it's the movie and then another studio has taken it, shot new footage in black and white. I've got one that's like the 20th or 30th anniversary, something like that.
Dude, probably try 40th.
And it's got a bunch of added scenes. What's really cool is they added a lot of like zombie scenes, and they were done really well, and they fit in well with the movie, and they did a good job like making it definitely fit like the time period. However, they added some weird stuff with like this priest who gets bitten.
That was weird.
And then
it fucks up the Romero rules.
Yeah, then he doesn't turn into a zombie because he's like, oh, I had the power of God. And he's got this like massive fucking scarred face. I'm like, no, that's
like,
dumb.
Get out of here, bonehead.
Yeah, I turn it off. I love watching that one, but I turn it off when it comes to that fucking scene because it's at the end anyway. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Fuck you. This is stupid. Number 13, It. The 1990 version, which is actually kind of cool because out of the 30 movies on this list, this is the only made-for-TV.
I don't know, man. It, to me, like, everybody was terrified of that movie as a kid. I don't...
Scary clowns, man.
It's...
I don't have, like, a problem with clowns. I definitely think
not
that
very
the scary
effective,
ones are, unsettling. But...
And then, like, so, it's this demon creature from a parallel universe, and then it's a spider.
He's the eater of worlds and of children.
I have one eater of worlds, and his name is motherfucking Galliacatis. And if there's a kid on the planet, guess what? You getting eaten too, bitch.
It's like dessert.
Right. It's like, I got a ginger stuck in my tooth. Fuck.
I like it. I still watch it to this day. It's
oh,
very enjoyable. It's a different movie from the remakes.
That new one, I think I like better. I didn't see part 2 yet. I'm waiting for
either.
that hype train to calm the fuck down, and then I'll piece my own thoughts together.
I am bummed that they should have called the second one, like part 2, just It's.
No, Die Itter.
Die Itter. It harder.
It harder. It with a vengeance. It too. Electric Boogaloo.
But I do like it. It doesn't... The original one has a bad payoff at the end with the creature.
Yeah, he turns into this...
made-for-TV movie.
They fucking run over and push him over.
Yeah, it's...
Brilliant battle plan.
The first half, though, is solid and very fucking terrifying.
It's not terrible.
I mean, the first act of the second part of it.
Here's battery acid, you slime. And a young Seth Green. That's, Does Seth Green age?
No.
Is he like 40-something now?
He just gets slightly taller every 10 years.
Right, after he absorbs souls to keep his ginger coat so sheeny. That's my second.
And then when he gets too tall, right, he just like levels out. So now he can now grow facial hair.
Oh. It's not like leveling up. It's then he opens up a side category of, like skills.
It's his second transformation.
Yes. Slightly beardy-ish.
Number 12, Scream.
Yep. Scream's a fucking classic. Yeah. I don't care how old you are. Scream is awesome. I'm going to burp loudly. Continue.
Love me some Scream. Number 11.
Oh, I wasn't done talking about Scream.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, dude, so I saw Scream in theaters when I probably shouldn't have. I think I was in the 6th grade.
1996.
Right. I mean, let's just talk about this all-star cast. We got
Drew Barrymore.
Claire Danes. No, I'm just kidding. Drew Barrymore.
Nev Campbell. We got the Arquette. We got Jamie Kennedy. We got Matt Lillard. We get fake-ass Johnny Depp. Skeet Ulrich. You got Courtney Cox.
Oh, yeah.
At
that
the
was
time.
still a thing. Oh, dude, fucking Rose McGowan before she got all that work done.
You got Henry Winkler.
That's right. And Wes Craven, and probably one of my favorite cameos.
As Fred, the janitor.
He's like, you talking to me? No, I wasn't talking to you, Fred.
You talking to me, Sheriff?
Right? Yes, dude. Straight up. It's like, I should have got him.
I like how he hides the Wes Craven when he directs those. He hides that Freddy sweater. Is it hidden in 3 and 4? Because in the second one, when she opens the closet in her dorm room,
it's very
fucking
similar.
hanging.
It's very similar. It's like a navy blue and.
So is there one in the 3rd and 4th one? I can't remember.
No, because we straight up have Wes Craven and. No, that's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. My bad, dude.
Because I know, in this first one, when Wes Craven is playing Fred the janitor, he's wearing the ugly Freddy sweater or one like it. In the second one, when in the very beginning, when
you get
Nev
the great
Campbell goes to
value
fucking
version of it.
open up the fucking closet in her dorm
Right.
room, there's one hanging there for whatever reason. It might even had a fedora too. I can't remember. But then I can't remember if I saw one in 3 and 4. I just watched those recently too.
Dude, it's been a minute.
Those
All
are
right.
always worth a rewatch for me.
Oh, and we get one of my, just all the iconic, dude, that whole part where Jamie Kennedy is talking to Jamie Lee Curtis. He's right behind you, Jamie Lee. He's right behind you. And when these fucking high school kids are terrible, they're like, they just found, was it the principal or like the gym teacher hung
The
up?
principal. They find Henry
hung up-
Winkler was fucking strung up by his guts on the fucking on the field goal.
Right,
at the
they're like,
football
let's
field.
go play a football game. I
They're
don't
like, let's go see him before they bring him down.
Right, like I don't know football, but I know like they make some kind of reference, like let's go kick off in Super Bowl.
Yeah, they like run out to fucking go see him. And it's fucking. They're just terrible
and
fucking
drunk
kids.
as shit, buddy. In high school, we weren't much better.
I like how fucking David Arquette as the cop shows up and he's like, "Give me that beer, son. You're underage."
Nah,
And he's just like,
just
"No, I'm just
kidding."
kidding." And gives it right back to him, and he's like, "Drive safe." It's like,
Dude, when Sydney Clocks fucking Courtney Cox or Gail Weathers, and then fucking what's her fuck, dude?
Rose McGowan's like,
yeah,
"Damn, bitch went down."
it's like bam, Sydney super bitch. What's her name, dude? Tatum.
Yeah.
Liver alone, and so okay, bringing it back. Remember that scene when Stu and fucking Billy are in the video store,
Yeah.
and they're talking to Randy, and then like
If
Billy's
they
like,
watch prom night, they'd save time.
well, I mean, not too far off. Wait. Stu comes up on Billy's shoulders and like, or Randy's shoulder and starts playing with his ear. It's just like Fright Night.
Yep. It is real good. I love fucking Scream. That is my go-to fucking palate cleanse, fucking like comfort food like franchise. I love all the major franchises for sure, but there is just something about the Scream franchise. Maybe just because it came out in my era.
Right.
It wasn't something that I visited later in life, and I just got to grow with that series.
No, wait, we're not talking about Scream 2. What else you got, dog?
Oh, number 11,
Scream.
Silence of the Lambs.
All right, so this is a fucking hot button debate I have with people and the studios and the fucking Academy. This is not a horror movie. This is a suspenseful thriller. Fuck you. This is a goddamn horror movie. Do I even have to explain why this is a fucking horror movie?
I mean, the scene alone where you get fucking the two fucking prison guards strung up like fucking the cover of In Utero, like fucking Nirvana's album, like fucking guts hanging out and shit,
That's a good deep cut, homie.
right? Like that alone, and you don't get it for very fucking long, but you get it long enough, and then later on he fucking peels off the fucking face of
Right.
the fucking dead
Surprise!
cop. Like that's all good.
Let's not forget Buffalo Bill.
Right.
Would you fuck me?
I'd
I'd fuck
fuck
me.
me.
Candy cane. And real talk, this is why we all know Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus.
This is true.
I have a fun story. Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say his last name because I don't want to blow up his spot or
Yukon?
whatever. Yes, Yukon Tom, our old buddy Yukon Tom. We were driving around in the fucking loop, and like he had that, Goodbye Horses up to a fucking 11, and then like every stop sign I would pop out, I'm opening my chapstick right now, and I would lean all the way the fuck out of the car and just apply vigorous coats of chapstick. Say, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
As you drive and talk to fucking screaming pedestrians.
Right, yes.
Would you fuck me?
Yes, at pedestrians, and they're just like, it's the loop. Rah!
So number 10, Poltergeist,
Yeah,
1982.
honestly, I give it to 2, but the first one's fucking legit.
2, super scary. It's about Reverend Kane, man. Like Reverend Kane makes 2 fucking super scary. What's crazy, and what we talk about all the time, but the first one is it was a PG movie. It was a Spielberg movie.
/ Hooper, Toby Hoops.
Right.
So there's a little weird controversy with that. It's like, who actually directed what? And I think, like, they let Hoop have the reins of the show, and then every now and again, Spielbag would show up and like, hey, Toby, why don't you go get a Dr. Pepper and cigar, cocaine, or all of those, and let the Spielberg
Why don't you
write
go?
this
Why don't you
scene.
go write your scenes for fucking Chainsaw Part 2?
Yeah, while you're filming.
I do love that though. The fucking
Sam Rockwell is so good in that. Oh, wait a minute.
That's
wait a
a
minute.
different one.
That's Coach.
That's got Coach in it. Yeah.
Dude, is that Mom like?
I like how they're fucking smoking pot casually in the house.
Yeah, Mom is twisting doobers in her fucking pantaloons.
Right.
Getting fucked up the wall? Or
I love the scene where the fucking cameraman that's fucking been hired to fucking capture shit peels his own face
ill.
off.
He turns his face into a Lunchable.
Plus the scene in the pool, those are real skeletons.
That's real skeletons.
Because they bought them from the local
skeleton
college
factory.
because they were cheaper than buying fucking
They
fake
bought
skeletons.
them at skeleton.
So when you see that, if you didn't know that, and those fucking corpses pop up and those graves come out of the pool and there's all those fucking skeletons, those are real dead bodies.
I want to talk about that fucking kid in the movie, not Carol Ann, who like died. She like turned into a poop gusher.
Talk about the boy?
Yeah, who like doesn't age. Another Seth Green motherfucker. Because that kid, what do you think Poltergeist is?
82.
82? All right. Then we cut to Leprechaun. What is that, like 92?
Actually, I think that might be 89 or 90.
I think you're smoking crack, dog. Gentleman's wager?
I mean, I have no way to look it up right now, but yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Go on.
Well, we'll deal with it on the next amazing episode of Here Comes the Spooky Podcast called How Wrong Was Jeff? What was that look?
Go ahead. No, keep telling your story now.
All right.
Look it up.
So I'm pretty sure if I had to give it a guess, because we got young Courtney Cox, Leprechaun is, I'm going to say 1990. I'm going to say 2. And my second guess is 1993. But I'm going to say 92.
It was 93.
Oh. So primarily, haha, you're wrong. And more importantly, that kid didn't age in 10 years. Do you think he's got like that Andy Milonakis syndrome thing going on? Because like that's the same kid, and he's in some other shit too.
Probably absorbed all the souls
That's what it was.
from the fucking cemetery from Poltergeist, and that's what keeps him so young.
Oh shit! And then who's fucking Coach's boss? The dude from Return of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bonus little treat.
You move the tombstones, but not the bodies.
Move the bodies.
So number 9, The Thing.
Yep. If you do not like The Thing, take both of your thumbs, jam them up your butthole, go to your highest flight of steps, and roll the fuck out, dude.
The Thing is one of the greatest fucking movies of all time.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
Like the OG Howard Hughes.
I'm not sure. I've seen it, but I don't know who did the original one.
Okay.
But it's not original, it's just a different movie.
Yeah. But John Carpenter's 19... It's not... Is it 80 or 81?
80, 81, somewhere around
Okay.
there.
That movie is the fucking best. I will fight you. I'm not a big, tough man, but I will let you punch me in the face. But you're going to be wrong.
That is such a fantastic
You got
movie.
Kurt Russell. You got Willard Brimfree. The oatmeal dude.
From the
David
diabetes
Keith.
commercials.
Diabetes. So what's the premise? Do we just kind of break down on this real quick?
No.
It's a-
We got fucking 9 more movies to go through.
A shape-shifting monster from outer space with some of the best special effects of the 80s and of the genre altogether. And Kurt Russell pours booze into a machine that's cheating while playing chess.
Yeah, we're going to get to it one day because it's just one of the fucking greatest movies of all time. It's
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 8, Psycho, 1960s.
Yep. Dude, Vince Vaughn was so good. No, fuck that movie, dude. The OG Psycho, let me just spell it for you. It's motherfucking Alfred Hitchcock. If you like horror movies and don't like Alfred Hitchcock, maybe you better find another hobby because you are doing it wrong.
And plus, who plays...
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins. And I love that he sticks with the series.
Yeah, dude, what a
through its
fucking
entire-
trooper.
yeah.
He's like, oh, Mick Garris directed the 4th one? I think maybe he did. I don't know. I think we've been over this. So Mick Garris directed all of the sequels.
You just can't go a fucking episode without fucking...
Dude, he's out there. He's directing movies, and they sneak into like our rosters and shit. No, but the original Psycho is fucking great. We get Sam Loomis. That's where we get that name. Janet Leigh. Fucking Jamie Lee's... Holy shit, I never made that connection.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's probably Carpenter doing that work.
Dude, that is Carpenter being like, oh, and also equally as amazing director. I give it to Hitchcock, man. I love Carpenter, though. Don't get me wrong. John Carpenter, if you're listening. Sorry, dude. Find something better to do, buddy. You're John Carpenter.
I was surprised that, even though I wasn't surprised that Psycho was on here, what I am surprised is that The Birds was not. Of all the other Hitchcock movies, I mean, Vertigo, Rear Window, those are fantastic.
I'd probably give it Rear Windows before I give it to Birds.
But The Birds, man.
But The Birds is great. I love that movie.
Yeah.
It must be this cheap feed.
So, number 7, Friday the 13th, 1980.
Yeah. I love that fucking movie. Every time I watch it, it's something new for me. I know it's the one of two Jason-less. Technically, you could say Goes to Hell is Jason-less for the majority of the film, but why are you watching that fucking movie? We're talking about the original Friday the 13th, dude. Everything about it is great.
It's a fun whodunit. I love a good
It
whodunit.
is, dude. Tom Savini stepping up, fucking just bringing us great gore. Sean Cunningham directing it.
They did a good job.
Yeah, no, now I'm getting sad thinking of all these negative parallels that we have today. But no, let us celebrate the
Money
original
changes
Friday
people,
the
man.
13th.
And it makes fucking people cunts.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Ugh.
Number 6, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
I am shocked that isn't higher up on the list.
It's in the top 10, but when you hear the other ones, you'd be like, I can kind of see why.
Well, I know Nightmare's on there, but we'll get to that. No, OG Chainsaw, personally, I prefer the second one, but you fucking respect the original because people say it's shot in this gritty, real, almost documentary-ish. That's a word.
It is. It's got that grainy look like The Hills Have Eyes.
And it has like one of the best shots of horror movie. Word, the thing where the chick, Lady Redbutt is watching, it's that tracking shot, and like it goes under the fucking swing set and keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking tried to emulate that in like almost every Chainsaw sequel. Well, the later ones, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, so like, did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre affect you in any way in your childhood?
Oh, Leatherface gave me nightmares up until my 30s. Like I couldn't watch a movie, and I would watch them. I have no problem watching them. However, he would scare me. I would have fucking nightmares about him like that night. If it was playing in the background of another movie and I caught him, he would fucking visit my dreams. Like he's fucking creepy. That scene where like fucking the dude is just back like looking out like at the front door inside the house, and fucking Leatherface just fucking opens up that giant fucking door, hits him on the fucking hammer, silently fucking grabs him back in, and fucking closes the fucking door. That's fucking gets me every time.
I got a quick little thing about this. So like my buddy's mom, Zinkin, Mama Jean, it's Thanksgiving, I'm staying there. Like I go back on Thanksgiving and Mom is just sitting there, Mom too, is just sitting there eating fucking Thanksgiving dinner, like the leftovers by herself, watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She's like, you ever see this one, Mike? I'm just like, Mom, you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre by yourself and eating leftovers, Thanksgiving leftovers. She's like, yeah, this is a blast. I'm just like, you're one of my favorite people.
Number 5, Alien.
Yep. Ooh, is Aliens the better movie?
But see, this is horror movies, and Aliens is definitely an action movie.
Sci-fi.
Alien is a suspenseful horror movie, for sure.
Sci-fi, yeah, suspense.
It is gory, it's gruesome, it's just the one alien. It's not very necessarily action-packed.
Would you say the real villain of the movie is Jonesy the Cat? Because you wouldn't have to deal with the majority, or a great portion of that last act. And parts of the movie, if Jonesy would have just stuck around and wouldn't have been bad.
Plus, I like how you don't have to just deal with the alien later on. You gotta fucking deal with Ash, too.
Oh, shit, yeah, the fucking Milky Boy.
Yeah, you get like an extra protagonist out of fucking... Or extra antagonist out of nowhere.
Bilbo Baggins jamming that newspaper down your fucking throat,
right?
Dude.
Number 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
1984.
If you need us to explain to you why this is a fucking classic horror movie, rent it. Watch it. Don't fucking dick around. You take your phone, go hide it somewhere in your house.
Yeah, pause this podcast because you're fucking you're in the wrong place. Watch the movie, then come back.
Right. I mean, so I'm just gonna save everything I want to say about this movie for when we do A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too deep into the woods on some of these. Number 3. So now we're in our top 3 here. What you want to take a guess at what the top 3 are?
Well, we already got Chainsaw. We got Nightmare. Shit. So we're in 3. We already did Amityville and Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, dude. It's going to be Poltergeist.
We already did Poltergeist.
Oh, duh. Halloween. Halloween is on there. It's not number 1, is it?
Well,
we'll get there.
Yeah. So you got... Take a guess at 3.
I'm scratching my head, dude. I got no idea.
All right. So number 3... The Exorcist.
Duh. Yeah, that's classic.
Right. And it is. Right. The second one sucks. The Heretic.
It's good, but for all the bad reasons.
Yeah. And then 3 is its own thing. It's fantastic, but it really has nothing to do with The Exorcist.
It kind of does.
I mean, it does. They bring some stuff into it, and the priest and everything, and I get that. I understand what they're doing with the whole like trilogy of it. However, it is not a movie unlike 1 and 2, especially unlike 1.
It is the true sequel to the original film. What the fuck are they doing with 2? You got Darth Vader talking about crickets and shit, and then like, I don't know. The only good thing about The Exorcist 2 is the soundtrack.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
But yeah, dude, The Exorcist has one of the most terrifying scenes, and also if you've never seen The Exorcist,
your mother so sucks in hell.
Right, quit being fucking 13 and just rent the fucking movie. When old boy fucking Verboga's out the window and then takes all the way down the steps, just that one moment. No, that fucking spider walk scene, the crab walk, and then she just shows up. It's like, oh yes, I'm an astronaut. It's like, I hope you die up there. Pisses all over the floor. All over the floor. I love how they do it in Scary Movie 2, where she just like nonstop won't stop pissing the whole fucking time. All right, what do we got?
Number 2, The Shining, 1980.
The shitting boy, quiet. You trying to get sued?
The Shinnin.
Yeah, dude.
Don't go poking around between 4 and 5. That's Willis time.
You know what bums me out is that Stephen fucking King himself is just like, this is an inferior version.
Yeah, he does not like Stanley Kubrick's fucking version of The Shining.
Yeah, but did you ever see the TV version of it?
Yeah.
That is
closer to the book for sure, but it
ain't great.
It's got a different feel.
It ain't
the book
good.
itself is very terrifying, but I mean, there are things in the Stanley Kubrick movie that aren't in the book and vice versa that work well, that like when I read the book I'm like, oh man, I wish this was in here, and then when I read the book I'm like, I wish this was in the movie.
I just kind of want to be like, hey, Stephen King, you stick to writing your movies and staying far the fuck away from the producing aspect of it. You made Maximum Overdrive. You don't really have a lot of room to talk.
What's really weird,
which is that's number 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
what's really weird about The Shining is that it's when you watch it and you think about it, like you're creeped out because you know it's fucking creepy, but it's a slow burn. It does like
at
it's
2.5 hours. Everything is slow in that fucking movie.
They fucking like crank it to 11 in that third act. But
all right, I got one for you.
It's slow there.
Now, is it fucking Jack losing his mind, or is it the evil of the hotel?
It's the evil of the hotel.
I think it's a little of column B, a little of column A. And is he drinking ghost hooch? Do the ghosts let him out? I don't know. I got questions about that movie.
Number
but it's
1.
Is it Halloween?
It's Halloween.
Yeah.
1978.
Yeah. So for the longest time, because I don't know, I'm weird. Like, I didn't appreciate the first Halloween. I'm just like, what is it? Okay. Because, like I've said numerous times on this podcast, I cut my teeth with Halloween 2. Which, you know, I was a little too young to appreciate all the suspense and all that.
Right. 1 is low on the gore factor.
Right.
There's not a lot of scares.
Yeah.
It's the music that plays you more than the shape himself.
It's got that slow burn kind of shit. And so I finally realized a couple of years back that Carpenter and Deborah Hill, they didn't want to make any sequels. So like the end of the movie when Mike gets shot 6 times. I shot him 6 times. And then, you know, Loomis goes to look over the porch and he's fucking gone. At that point, there were not 17 sequels already done, you know, like that was a one and done.
They felt it was scary to end it that way because you get they show you all the scenes as they're like ending the movie where he
places
was.
they had been prior to.
Yeah,
the
and
film,
it was
locations.
scarier because he got away, sort of thing.
Right.
Like he could be out there and he could be anyone.
And that's pretty scary. Like now that I think about that, like, and then it ends with like him, you know, fucking breathing heavily, like, you know, when you walk up a flight of steps, you're like, oh.
So what's crazy about this list here is I was going through it, and something that's like stuck out to me as I was, you know, just counting them up is that I put dates on specific ones. That's because 16 out of the 30 movies that we fucking mentioned
have been
fucking remade. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, Hollywood, get an original fucking idea. Like I get some of these, like I know that Pet Sematary was remade simply to cash in on it because that's coming up to its 35th year.
Yeah.
So those rights are going to go back to Stephen King. So the studio was like, might as well cash in on it one more fucking time. There's nothing we can do about it now. And you definitely got a half-assed remake. It looked good on paper. The trailers itself looked pretty fun. But when I saw it...
So I haven't seen the movie, but I know
great.
the spoiler, which they fucking spoil in the preview.
Is what?
That Gage doesn't die. It's the older sister.
Oh, that's
that
not
dies.
the spoiler. I mean, it's not the older sister. It's just, I mean, it's the little girl, but that doesn't change anything in the movie, right? It's still a dead kid. The ending has completely been rewritten. I'm not going to say it, but.
And I was on board. I heard John Lithgow was, what's his fuck?
He's the
Judge.
Don't go near the road.
The road, right. And John Lithgow's fucking great in my book.
He is good.
I don't know if there's enough drawing power for that. Anyway.
There's just something about it. Plus, you got Child's Play, which just recently remade. Poltergeist got a remake about 3 or 4 years ago, which Sam Rockwell, I do like it, but it was one of those PG-13 movies. You know, I get that the first one was only PG, but that was the fucking 80s, dude.
Yeah,
they got
that
away
was
with a lot of shit.
before PG-13.
Like, you should have, make it R. Amityville Horror got a fucking remake. The Omen got its remake. It was okay. Carrie got a remake. It wasn't bad. It was all right. Dawn of the Dead got a remake, which I actually enjoyed more.
That was great.
Than the original. It was fun. There's something about, you watch the original, I think it's slow. I understand that Savani was still new to the business, but the zombies were blue.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
They bring you more of a traditional looking zombie when you get to Day of the Dead. But
they even bring back some of the blue zombies from Day of the Dead.
It's weird. It's hard to watch.
Or in Day of the Dead.
Obviously, I would say definitely warranted a remake because that was a made-for-TV movie. So now you're getting the special effects of Hollywood. They can really go above and beyond with the terror in that one.
I dug that first one.
Evil Dead, that remake was. I liked it.
Holy shit,
it was
dude.
intense, but it wasn't necessary.
I'm not mad that movie happened, and
what I am mad about is that they set you up to bridge the two as if it was two separate universes because you get Bruce Campbell at the end.
Let's talk about movies that were bummed that aren't on that list.
So,
where's Troll 2?
So Psycho, that remake was terrible.
Oh my, that was a scene by scene
shot for shot
and
remake
that was
of
like
Vince Vaughn.
Gore for Bigna or
Norman
some
Bates.
shit.
That was awful.
And then you throw in fucking him jacking off. Get the fuck out of here.
You get the Shining, which we talked about, the TV remake. Halloween got the Rob Zombie remake.
You know what? Let's talk about this new movie coming out, this fucking Dr. Sleep. Do you know about this?
Oh, yeah? Well, let's get through these first.
Well, it's part of The Shining.
Right, I know. But let's do the...
They spend a great portion of the movie in the... Okay, yeah. You gotta bet. Go ahead.
You gotta stay on target.
I am.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre got a remake and then a
remake
and then a remake
and then a remake and then a prequel and then a fucking
Nightmare on Elm Street.
That was unnecessary. It was a good premise, horribly executed, terrible. I mean, what, Bobby Earl, Haley Jr., Jackie, Joyner Kersey, just, that dude's good. But he fucking sucked as Freddy. They wrote him poorly. They wrote everything. What's
the matter? I haven't even cut you yet.
He sounded like fucking Louis Anderson, dude. They bring in the micronaps aspect of that film, which is cool. Clancy Brown is in a movie and it fucking sucks.
That's a rare thing.
What the shit, dude? All right, what else you got?
Let's see. Friday the 13th technically got a remake.
Yeah, that was a remake.
They don't really dwell on the original so much. You do get the whole...
Yeah, you get about 2 minutes of that.
With Pamela, but they basically remade 1, 2, and 3 kind of right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I would go 1 through 4 with that.
Yeah, so that's an odd remake, but it is one itself. I did enjoy that movie.
It's not bad.
So it's not that I hate all the remakes, but I'm just looking at this. I'm like, there are so many on here that are just.
I just felt something was a little off with the remake. Maybe it was Jason's luscious golden hair, or Michael Bay had something to do with it.
He took a hostage.
He took a fucking hostage. You're right.
That's the dumbest.
And he was protecting his dope fields, which that's kind of funny.
And he's like, it looks like Pamela. It doesn't look like Pamela.
No, she sounds like a shrew.
Yeah. It doesn't fucking look like her at all. They even she's even got the locket with her fucking picture in there. I'm like, you look nothing like her.
You know who that looks like? Chris from Part 3.
Right? It's just asinine. Let's see. What's the Night of the Living Dead? Got the 1990 remake, which I do like.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is fun. You get a remake. It changes up the story a little bit. It makes the fucking the final girl a badass.
Dude, she goes ram bitch opposed to being a comatose.
Yeah,
cunt.
Barbara is not fucking like a handful like she is in the first one. I enjoyed that a lot.
No, she's like, give me a gun. Let's fucking do this.
They get a good twist with Tony Todd at the end. I really do like the 90s remake. It's in color, which is really nice.
Right. Not Ted Turner colorized,
but then it got remade again.
Oh yeah, then it keeps like Sid Haig was in one of them.
That's the Night of the Living Dead 3D, and he was great, but the movie, not so much. Like you're touching base on like third remake territory, and it's just, I get it, right? It's in public domain, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. We can make one if we wanted to, but you don't have to. It's not necessary.
Fuck, I think the Council High School put on a production of that.
Like, if you're gonna remake like a horror movie, don't touch on a classic. Pick something that's like out there that you want to bring to the mainstream. Like when they did sort of a remake or sequel to the Town That Dreaded Sundown, right?
That was a beauty.
Or you're getting like, and now we're gonna get back to it, the Dr. Sleep, right? Which is a sequel to The Shining, but here's the thing: it's also a little bit of a remake because it changes what happened in the movie because it adds elements of the book and the movie together, basically to appease both sets of fans, and then obviously Stephen King, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for it.
Ewan McGregor, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for it. So that's the whole list. As far as it goes, I'm pretty happy with the majority of it.
Why wasn't Mac and Me on there?
There's a couple that I just thought maybe weren't the greatest, right? You got like Insidious, The Sixth Sense, basically some of the newer ones, right? The Conjuring, Saw.
Conjuring is legit. That is a classic.
I will
vouch for that.
It is good.
Kind of upset Sinister wasn't on there.
See, that's more of like a modern one that I would think would have fit better than like Saw. But I get that Saw was huge just because when it came out, there wasn't anything quite like it. It was made by the people who were in the movie, like the directors in the movie and stuff like that. It was a very small budget.
Carrie Ewells was really good.
Yeah, like that's like the biggest like name in there and stuff like that. So I mean, if there was maybe one or two that I would have put on there,
I'm not mad at that list. Real talk, like if you did your 31 for Halloween, the season or whatever, those would be great. Most of those would be great. I'd probably sub out maybe 4 or 5, but whoopty shit, that ain't bad.
Yeah, that's what I would do is pick out just a couple of them.
I'd throw in a Project Metal Beast, a Night of the Demon, the good shit.
No, it's terrible.
House on Haunted Hill, Reanimator.
See, now Reanimator I would have put on here for sure. That is one that definitely would have deserved to be on the list.
Yeah, you know what? What the fuck?
Yeah.
The Blob.
I would have loved to see The
Creep
Blob.
Show.
And it's just like surprising to me, like Silence of the Lambs, right? Okay, that's super. It's creepy, but there was another movie from the same like time,
Manhunter,
that I thought would have fit this movie better, and that was, goddamn, I just had it in my fucking head.
What's it about?
Arachnophobia.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think is a lot scarier than Silence of the Lambs.
I'm
fucking terrified of spiders.
I don't fuck with spiders, dude. There's too many legs. I don't like how they move.
Right. And that is a really creepy movie.
It's a little more kid friendly kind of. Oh fuck, Monster Squad.
I wouldn't say it's a horror movie though. That's like the Goonies.
Buddy, it's got Universal monsters. It's got like all of them.
Right. No, I get that monsters are in it.
All right. What else you got? We're jarring on here.
Right. So that's the end of the list. I thought it was a pretty good list, but I wanted to, put it out there for everybody. We've already fucking talked for almost an hour now, so moving on. Now we're going to jump into Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
This is fantastic werewolf movie from 1985. Super excited about it. Nachos, when was the first time you saw this movie?
First time I saw Silver Bullet, I was 8 years old. No, it was over at the Zinkin household. Yep.
So were you real young when you saw it?
No, I was probably about like maybe 6th, 7th grade. They just had this fucking catalog of like all these just popping VHSs and shit. Like, if they didn't have it at Pick a Video, like there was probably a good chance they had it there, kind of thing.
I came to this real late. It was 2017. You had suggested it because I'm not a huge werewolf movie guy. I do like werewolf movies.
There's not a lot of good werewolf
But
movies.
when you come down to like monster movies, my favorite is zombie movies. I love zombie, especially Romero movies and things like that. But I'm just really huge into zombie movies, zombie culture. Not so much The Walking Dead. It's gone on far too long.
Oh my god.
But I came into this in 2017. I saw it and I fucking loved it instantly. So I feel bad that I didn't see it back in the day. But man, like once I saw it, I was like, this is fucking wonderful. This is not on our Hello Nasty list.
We just did this because it's a good fucking movie.
Right? We just did a vampire movie with Fright Night. So now we're going to fucking do a werewolf movie.
Because actually we're getting ready to we're going to do the entire Twilight series. Figure knock out the good werewolf and vampire movies and just get our hands glittery.
And then bring it together.
Right.
So, director Dan Attias. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, that guy.
This is his only feature film directing credit.
He went on to do a bunch of werewolf porn, right?
Bunch of TV shows.
That's right, TV shows.
He did stuff like Lost, which some of the cast is in. Sopranos, It's Always Sunny.
What?
I think Party of Five and like shit like that. Like he didn't like go through like did everything in those through those series, but he did a bunch of episodes
right.
for him. So you ready to meet our casualties?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one here, arguably the biggest actor in this. In these, and there's actually a pretty big cast, but I'm only going to touch on a few because it's just there was just fucking so many. Is number one
Gary Busey?
Nope.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Corey Haim.
Corey Haim.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Marty Kozlov.
I thought it was fucking coleslaw.
Kozlov.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense because that's a real
The S
name.
is before the L.
Except before E.
So if you don't know who Corey Haim is, then get the fuck out.
He's one of the two 80s sensation known as the Coreys.
Right, exactly.
AKA Michael Jackson's plug buddies.
He was in the show The Two Coreys. He was in the 80s. He was fucking huge. He was in License to Drive, Lucas, Lost Boys. He was in a sci-fi thriller with Michael Ironside called Watchers, which was pretty good.
So they made like 3 of those, right?
I've only seen the first one.
I gotta
so
check.
if there's more, I don't know.
Sorry, not to get us off topic. Already.
So next up, we've got Megan Follows. She plays Jane.
Janie the bitch.
Jane,
yes.
fucking Marty's sister. She was in a bunch of TV shows and TV movies. She has a large catalog of those, but she wasn't in any.
I feel that's
going to
be the theme with the majority of these actors and actresses.
Next up on the list is a little fellow you definitely have heard of, motherfucking Gary Busey.
The Buse.
Right? He plays Uncle Red.
Mind you, this is pre-motorcycle accident Gary Busey.
Yes, it is. So
he's not bad shit.
Right? You fucking know.
He's on the cusp.
He had done the Buddy Holly story later on.
He sang all his own fucking songs?
Yeah, we used to be in a band. He used to be in a band called like Carp.
Called the Buseys?
Then he was Lethal Weapon, right? He's Mr. Joshua.
Joshua.
He's in Point Break.
He's in Predator 2.
Predator 2, Under Siege, The Firm. He's in Black Sheep.
Oh my fuck, he is a Black Sheep, isn't he, man?
And I love Gary Busey. This is the craziest fucking thing about the world that we live in. Everybody's fucking super sensitive and fucking extra PC, and they're always worried about fucking pissing each other off. But nobody ever thinks about this. Everyone makes fun of Gary Busey. Movies, television, comedians, everybody does.
Gary Busey himself.
This guy has legitimate, actual, fucking doctored, fucking notoriety, fucking I have this, you can't fucking prove otherwise, I have fucking x-rays and fucking medical records and history to show you. Brain damage.
So how did he get that,
This
man?
is like the
Bring
only...
me up to speed.
So he was just in a fucking motorcycle accident, and he wasn't wearing a helmet, he like hit a tree or like the road or something, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But the shock and the damage to his fucking skull like actually gave him like degenerative brain damage. It's been diagnosed with it several times. And everybody, me included, right, make fun of this
we're
fucking
not
guy,
above this.
right? Like, I'm fucking, hey, that's some low-hanging fruit, right? I'm gonna fucking take it. But this is an individual who has fucking brain damage, and everybody is okay with making fun of it. And
now,
I guess it's because he's okay with it, but no one ever stands up and goes, hey, guys, we're kind of making fun of somebody who has actual brain damage.
Now, do you think the gingerbread man himself fucking is hamming it up, turning that dial up a little bit like, well, I could be...
could be.
I could
be.
just show up, and she's just like, "Fuck it, I'll run with it. It's easy." Speaking of my brain damage, fuck,
He's fucking nuts. Next up, we've got.
You know that dude's like fucking 6'8".
He's huge.
He's a big old motherfucker.
He's fucking giant. I wonder how they film that. I'm interested to see how they film that for Lethal Weapon because they try to make fucking Mel Gibson almost the same height as him. He's shorter, but like
he was on
Mel
fucking
Gibson,
platform shoes.
if I understand, like as a little guy, like he's not super tall, like compared to fucking Gary Busey.
Right.
But they don't make him like tower over him in that movie. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd have to fucking.
They brought in Peter Jackson and had to hobbit it up.
They've got Everett McGill, who played Reverend Lowe. So this guy's in a lot of stuff. He's one of those actors that you see, and you're like, I know this guy. I know things that he's been in. I don't know his name, but I recognize him.
I know one for sure. I know he was in People Under the Steps.
Yeah.
Hold your tongue and say, better luck next time. Better luck next time.
So he was in Dune. He was in License to Kill, the James Bond movie.
Is that the cocaine shark one?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Because the one of the two T-Dalts.
Yep, that's the other Timothy Dalton one. That's the one with
Oh,
Benicio del Toro.
Fuck the Living Daylights.
Yeah, License to Kill is much better.
Yeah.
Where Felix fucking gets his fucking
Oh my god.
legs eaten off by a shark after his wedding,
But
and his bride gets a fucking
yeah,
that's a
keep
tough
the
one.
fucking return receipt for that.
Then The People Under the Stairs.
That's right.
He was also in My Fellow Americans, which is just a funny fucking.
Is that with like Jack Lemmons and Walter Matthau?
Jack Lemmon and I forget the other guy's name. No, it's not Jack Palance.
Jack Bauer.
I forget, but it's a funny movie. Then last person on this list that's even worth noting is Terry O'Quinn, who plays Sheriff Joe Holler. He was in The Stepfather.
Yes.
And The Stepfather
1 and
2.
2.
Man, I love the first one. That fucking opening scene.
Oh, that's so gross.
Where he's just fucking like shaving his beard.
He killed the fucking dog.
Yeah, and he just comes downstairs and you see all those. The kid's dead. The fucking wife's dead. The dogs are
That family
dead.
is schmear.
Right? He just walks out the door. He's in Stepfather 2. He was in Young Guns. He was in Tombstone. He was the mayor.
Oh my god, Tombstone.
He was in Primal Fear, and then most people probably will know him from fucking being John Locke on Lost, the TV shows, you know.
Whoa, that's a callback. Do you think he directed an episode he was in, kind of thing?
Oh, definitely. The director did a bunch of like Lost episodes, maybe 6 or 7. So I mean, maybe it's not a bunch considering they've like I don't know,
you know,
like 100 plus
26
episodes.
episode long seasons,
right? Released in October of 1985. So this is a good year. Same year as Fright Night, so a lot of the same stuff, right? Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead,
Part 5.
Fright Night, The Stuff, Day of the Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, Friday the 13th, Part V, The Mutilator, and again,
Fall Break.
My personal fucking favorite, The Howling 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf. God.
That's almost as good as a movie as this.
Right? It's a better title for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
So how to watch? You got your classic VHS. 2002, there was a Paramount DVD with no special features.
Bare fucking bones. Thanks, Paramount.
Right. There's been several DVDs released of this in like Stephen King movie compilations, like with It and Pet Sematary and all kinds of different stuff. It's got no special features. There is a region-free like European Australian Blu-ray from Umbrella Entertainment that has
that's what I got, buddy.
That's got a bunch of special features. I don't own this one.
Not a bunch, but
it's got more than any other.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
I'm buying this year. So December 2019, Scream Factory, which is fucking fantastic, is bringing us a Blu-ray with a ton of fucking special features. I'm really excited. So I got this one pre-ordered. I'm definitely getting it as it comes out. It's also currently streaming on AMC right now in October. We were going over the list, Nachos and I, before we even got fucking started with the show.
Had an altercation.
Right. So they've got tons like Graveyard Shift, Thinner, Carrie, Christine, like Pet Sematary 1 and 2. They got all these Stephen King movies. They've got Final Destinations. They've got all the Halloweens minus Halloween 3. They've got all the Friday the 13th up to Part 8.
Halloween 3 is pretty good.
Like AMC just fucking gets the rights to these like in
Do you remember when they
October
used to have
every
like sorry, not to fucking abruptly jump in here. Do you remember when they used to have like the 100 most scary parts from movies? What the fuck? Bring that shit back.
They used to fucking like marathon shit like too. They would have like the 30 Days of Halloween kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you'd watch, or 31 Days of Halloween where you'd fucking watch a scary movie each night. Then like on Halloween, they would just have nonstop fucking scary movies, mostly Halloween movies, but they'd have a ton of stuff. So you can get it there. If it's not there, it's almost constantly streaming on Amazon Prime. I assume that it's not currently there right now because it's on AMC.
Yeah, I tried to get a hold of it.
But I watched it earlier this year. I watched it last year. I watched this movie a bunch all the
I
time.
watch it all the fucking time. Dude,
and it's
so
always
good.
on Prime, so you can definitely check it out there. Alrighty, Nachos, you ready to horse around with some maniacs?
Let's get these motherfuckers.
Alright, so the movie opens with a close-up shot of the full moon as the opening credits begin to roll, and we get a narration introduction from Jane, who is the sister of the movie. And I really like this because she kind of narrates throughout the whole movie. She talks about the nightmare that the town is going to experience starting on this very night.
Now, I have a huge problem with this narration, but it's not with the beginning, it's with the very end, and we will tackle that then.
Next, we cut to the railroad yard as we are introduced to Arnie, who is driving a rail car, drinking on the job, and singing the Rheingold beer theme song. It's goofy. It's the guy who plays Arnie, he plays Lou, the fucking coach in Major League 1 and Major League 2, or the manager or whatever. So it's a pretty funny scene. While he's like out in the shadows, something is like stalking him.
Well, like he's singing.
He's like singing and drinking Rheingold beer.
No, I was thinking the whole like they can't get mad at him for drinking and driving because it's a rail car.
Can only go.
Yeah, what are you gonna do backwards?
So Arnie hears a noise in the woods, but he goes about his business, repairing and cleaning debris from the tracks of the rail yard when he notices these large, beast-like footprints in the dirt. He stands up to look around and gets decapitated by a large, fur-covered claw, followed by a long howl in the night. And this is a cool scene.
We are not even 2 minutes in the movie, and we have our first death, which I like to call alcohol abuse. Also, I wonder if, like, the werewolf shotgunned his neck stump, you know, because he's got all that fucking precious alcohol content in him.
I like how they do it, and then like you get that shot of the fucking head, like, fucking just flying through the air.
That was the good indicator. It's like, all right, I'm in for a good time.
Right? Just right into it. The narrator adds that even though the killings had begun, the county coroner assumed that Arnie's death was an accident as he was a known drunk.
Chronic drunk. Drink every time they say chronic drunk in this fucking movie.
And there was like no evidence of anything else. So Jane's narration continues as we see the town of Tarker's Mill is prepping for their annual 4th of July celebration. And there's a big town-like gathering, and Sheriff Joe Haller is instructing the townsfolk to settle down as he introduces Reverend Lester Lowe, who wants to address everyone about the festivities that are going on. Next, we meet Jane, who is sitting with her parents when she tells them that she's taken off because this is fucking boring. And Jane's mother, Nan, tells her to go check on her brother, Marty. Jane gets pissy because she's 15 and she doesn't like her 11-year-old brother, Marty, who is off catching snakes in the bushes with his friend, Brady.
Did you catch this scene as she's walking away? Just some random bitch. You only see one. She's like, "Go take care of your brother, Janie."
Yeah,
it's
just being... This is
like,
a town
mind your
of shitty
fucking
chicks.
business, lady. Fuck.
Jane walks over to Marty as Brady dangles the snake they caught from a tree and scares the shit out of her. And she does this like fucking head dive into the ground. It's the goofiest fucking thing. It's like way to overact. Like it's very unnecessary how she fucking dives away. Marty then rolls up, and that's right, I say rolls up, and we see that he's in a wheelchair. But it's not like
also a go-kart.
It's not like a fucking normal wheelchair. It's this badass fucking gas powered something or other. It looks like something the fucking Pee Wee Herman would have.
It's like one of the carts at Walmart, but
it's got like motorcycle handlebars and like a fucking gas like throttle on it and shit.
It's like if you had to be in a wheelchair, this is the optimal option to fucking run with.
Jane gets pissed even more as Brady continues to tease her, and Marty tries to apologize, but Jane isn't fucking having it, and she runs off in the bushes to cry.
I think what you meant to say is Brady uses both hands on his snake and ruins them hose and then makes her wet.
While crying in the bushes, Jane overhears a couple arguing about being pregnant, with the man claiming that while it's her oven, it ain't his bun. And he storms off, leaving the woman to cry alone on this bench. And Jane just fucking sitting there in the bushes, just kind of watching this shit going on.
Well, that's happening.
She's like, I guess my life isn't so bad now.
All right, my hose is soaked, but I mean, this hoe, ugh.
So Marty's family all head home. And when they get there, Marty asks if his Uncle Red is going to come over for a visit. Jane tells him that Red is getting a divorce and that he's a drunk.
Fuck, dude, this whole movie, they just bash on Uncle Red because the dude enjoys a couple cocktails.
Right.
And he's had a couple unsuccessful marriages. Maybe don't be such a fucking asshole about it. Maybe, like, talk to him like he's your fucking brother or uncle.
And her parents like even know that she's kind of a bitch because they're like, don't sweat the small stuff.
She's
Jane.
a straight bitch because back at the park, it's just like, Marty was my cross to bear. It's like, you being a little over dramatic much, bitch?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. He's fucking paralyzed.
Yeah,
it's definitely his fault.
Sorry, you have to look over. Well, we'll get to that.
Marty later sneaks into Jane's room during the night to leave some money on her bedside
smells her
table.
panties.
No,
wait.
Was that in your version? Wasn't
yes,
it in my version?
it's that UK version.
So he leaves the money on her bedside table for the pantyhose that got ruined earlier when they scared her with the snake, and they start to have a conversation. You know,
Marty's a pretty fucking good dude,
right? He's like, I'm really sorry, you know. And
sorry, Brady's an asshole.
So we cut to across town as we see the pregnant woman from earlier, who we learn is named Stella, alone in her room, trying to commit suicide with pills, claiming, and this is one of the fucking best lines in the movie, and it's fucking so over the top.
We have fun with this.
Well, suicides go to hell, I guess, especially when they're pregnant. It's like, God damn.
And I don't even care.
Right? It's like, God hates suicides,
and
especially when they're
she's casually
pregnant.
doing it like pill by pill, just like, pill, well, gotta stay hydrated.
Right? She's taking that fucking red pill and fucking seeing how far the Matrix rabbit hole goes.
Not like a fistful of pills, like a fucking rock star.
Right? Do it all at once. Don't
Come
fucking
on.
slow it. Don't slow the roll. And all while, like, fucking outside, like, there's something stalking
A POV.
outside the
You
house.
see a wolf-like hand grab the... Is that a trellis?
It's like one of those, like, rose garden fucking, yeah, like, things that, you know, like, usually you see the people, like, climb in the 80s and go into bedroom windows and stuff.
Couldn't happen in today's society. We all
Right.
a little too big for that.
So while Stella is continuing to do her best Kurt Cobain impression,
Ooh.
she hears a noise and turns to see a large werewolf jump through her upstairs window and just begins to shred her ass to pieces.
Fucking flipping her and flopping her all around the room and just shredding her.
Right, just fucking clawing her in the back, clawing up her fucking face, just going to town on this chick. Downstairs in the house, her mother hears all the commotion. She runs upstairs with a gun
She grabs the fucking heater from the,
from, like, the desk.
Yes.
And then runs upstairs and she finds Stella's bloody corpse spread out.
This is such a cool scene. Like, she
On
flips
the
the lights
bed.
on and she's in the foreground all corpsed out. We have death number 2, Dr. Wolfman's abortion delivery service.
She is very much dead. The next day, the sheriff...
Actually, that should be death 2 and 3, but we're not going to get into the
Right.
how far along was it and...
So the next day, the sheriff is dealing with the fallout of the 2 dead people now in town, while over at the local tavern, the townsfolk are getting up in arms. The police aren't doing enough to keep them safe. They're like, we fucking pay our taxes, and Joe Holler's not fucking
The
doing
dude that
enough.
runs the fucking hardware store.
Right, he's fucking getting everybody all riled up in arms.
I have a fucking Dr. Mutton chops. This dude needs to calm the fuck down or needs to don't come to the bar because this dude is a shit disturber
Right.
the entire movie.
He's a cunt.
He's a real cunt.
So the people in the bar continue to get fucking
UK
rowdy.
cunt, not US cunt.
They're getting fucking rowdy with each other, and they fucking are about to start a fight, like with the fucking deputy who's in there. As the bar owner, Owen, tells everybody to calm the fuck down while pointing one of the coolest fucking baseball bats in existence in everybody's fucking face. It's this large wooden fucking bat. It's all weathered, and it's got the fucking words, "The Peacemaker," fucking edged down this, like burnt down the side of it.
I'd say this is second probably to Negan's baseball bat Lucille.
Negan's is cool because it's wrapped in fucking barbed wire. I would actually think that
Nick Foley approves.
I would go. This is my favorite one. I would say that a fucking nail baseball bat, like from fucking the Dorm That Drip Blood, is much cooler, and then Negan's would be the third one on the list. But the Peacemaker,
Well, it's like fire resistant +5.
right? It's just fucking so cool. Did you get a Peacemaker?
Oh, so a couple months back, I do this thing every year. I get older and we celebrate it. And my good friend Cincinnati Jeff didn't buy, but handmade me the Peacemaker, the full one.
I did. I got a fucking full on unfinished baseball bat, and I learned how to do like wood burning. Like not well, and then like fucking took screenshots from the movie and like laid it over the bat and fucking worked on it, and like I stained it with some fucking goofy shit.
He has 3rd-degree burns all over his hands and anus because of it.
It's fucking
It's
legit.
dedication.
I gave
And
it to him, and I was like, I want one of these.
I appreciate it, and thank you.
So later on, Marty is getting out of his last day of school when he meets up with Brady and Tammy, and then he heads home with Tammy. On the way home, Marty's telling Tammy all about his wheelchair, the silver bullet, and how his uncle made it for him, when they see the police are boarding up the windows over at Stella's house. Tammy tells Marty that spooky shit's been happening around town and that she keeps hearing strange noises at night coming from the fucking like garden shed and the greenhouse in her backyard.
For being like Tammy's family being dirt poor, they have a big house, a huge fucking mansion of a greenhouse, and then like 7 other sheds.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, do they run a farm? I don't know.
Like a pot farm.
Yes.
Get it? Because of all the pots.
All the terracotta pots.
Boom, dum, tss.
You can leave. No, you can leave your own podcast.
So then her fucking dad, Tammy's dad, starts yelling at her to come inside because he doesn't like cripples, while Marty heads off to Virgil's gas station to fucking fill up gas on his wheelchair.
Damn cripples. They always end up on the welfare. Electrocute them all. Bounce the budget as he's drinking OG Budweiser piss grenaders.
Right? Such a piece
This
of
dude
shit.
looks like fucking State Park Mario. This
like,
dude is bad.
I want this guy to die.
Like, yeah, not just, of old age or of, congestive heart condition.
Like on screen.
I want this
bloody.
dude to, like, get impaled by a piece of wood or something. I don't know.
So later that night, Marty is playing cards and goofing around with his Uncle Red, who's shown up for a visit, which is now we're introduced to fucking Gary Busey, when Nan tells him that it's time for bed because they're fucking gambling. And
Nan is such an uppity. I didn't know that Red and Uncle Red and Morty. Yeah, it's Morty. They're gambling with baseball cards, and then he's like, "You can't bet the manager. You can't bet the fucking managers.
Piss on the Yankees. Piss on the Reds.
Indians, piss on the..." And just like, oh. And Uncle Red tells one of my favorite jokes of all time that I will gladly.
Yes, enlighten us.
All right. So, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here. A dude walks into a bar and he sits down, and the bartender says, "Hey, jackass, do you want a drink?" So our third guy's like, "Okay." And then it's like, bartender comes by and says to the other guy, he's like, "Hey, do you want a drink, jackass?" kind of thing. And this goes on for a minute. And then so our hero says to the guy sitting next to him, he goes, "Hey, man, why do you let him call you that?" He goes, "Oh, he always calls me that." I know I butchered it, but whatever. Watch the fucking movie. I'm not Gary Busey.
So as Marty goes and heads off to bed, Red and Nan argue about Red's drinking, and now he is fucking giving up because he's going through a fucking divorce and he's just fucking getting hammered.
Sorry, you're bad at love, dude. Leave this man be. Be fucking supportive. And if, a bottle of 101 turkey wants to help you cope, that's
right?
fine too.
So then he gets on fucking Nan. He's like, you fucking, like the way you treat Marty, like you're only interested in fucking getting him from the bed to the tub, from the tub to the toilet, from the toilet back to fucking bed. He's like, he's not a fucking chore. You got to treat him like a kid.
Also, I want to know, how the fuck did Gary Busey outlive Corey Haim? Yeah, think about that. Let that pot boil for a minute.
So across town while this is going on,
cut to the WrestleMania Manor.
Right, back at fucking Tammy's house, her dad is fucking watching fucking wrestling on TV when he hears loud noises coming from the fucking shed. It's like something's out there fucking smashing up all his pot.
"Come on, Rebel, let's bust him up. Time to kick some ass. Bust his chops. Gonna bust him up real good." It's NWA wrestling, for the record.
So he fucking hears all this shit, goes to investigate as he fucking grabs his gun. He's like, "I'll fucking teach you with a little rock salt in your ass." So while checking things out in the fucking shed in the greenhouse, a werewolf busts through the fucking floorboards after stalking him a little bit, and he fucking attacks Tammy's dad, pulling him down. And while this happens, he gets fucking impaled in the stomach on one of the fucking broken pieces of the floorboard.
Splintered logs jutting out.
Right, as then the fucking werewolf finally fucking drags him underneath and just drags him away.
It reminds me a lot of that eyeball poke scene from Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not.
That's much more intense.
All right, death number 3. 1, 2, 3. TKO.
The next day, as the town is discussing the latest murder, you hear on the radio that a curfew has been put into place until the murderer is caught. Meanwhile, Marty and Brady are playing in the park when Jane comes to get Marty for dinner, and they head home.
Being a fucking just stick in the mud.
Just another fucking
Janie's just
round
like,
of fucking Janie the bitch.
Yeah, my crippled brother. So on the way out, Marty asks Brady. It's like, "You come?" And he's like, "No, I'm good." He's just flying his smiley face kite.
Just fucking flying his little fucking kite.
And then, like, longing look at Brady. Then cut back to Morty. And then Grady. And then Morty. And yeah, I'm saying their names wrong. I don't give a fuck. And then it's just like, boy, it's like you guys are trying to set something up.
Right?
I don't know.
Foreshadowing. So as night falls, many of the town are fucking back in the fucking tavern and are bitching about the fucking sheriff when Brady's dad fucking comes in to see if anybody has seen Brady because he hasn't been home yet.
Yeah.
Cut to the park and we see Sheriff Haller
roll up
carrying fucking Brady's kite and it's fucking completely
Drenched.
covered in fucking blood, just fucking soaked and dripping. As the camera zooms in, it fucking shows Brady's corpse laying under a gazebo.
This is fucking gruesome. This is one of the few scenarios. I'm a gore hound. I'm a gore whore. I think this is one of those very few exceptions where less is more.
Right.
I want to jump back real quick. When they're in the bar, because it's just like the fucking dude that owns the hardware store. I can't think of his name. It's like I'll just call him Mutton Chops.
It's like Milt or something.
And the deputy, they're getting ready to square up. Then
Again.
Brady's dad comes in. He's like, "Have you seen my son?"
Brady's dad.
Brady, sorry. If I was the fucking deputy, I would have just, bam, got a cheap shot and be like, "Ha ha! Should have paid attention, bitch."
Right. So the dad shows up with the deputy and to the scene of the fucking murder and
Fucking loses
freaks out,
it.
right? Because he just fucking found his son dead. We cut to Brady's funeral.
Oh, wait, hold up. Death number 4, country style biscuits and Brady. Also, his dad kind of looks like John Waters.
His dad looks very out of place for the rest of the fucking town. He does look like John Waters. It's weird. He's like well dressed with like pencil thin fucking
You know what?
mustache.
Witness protection program. That's what it was. He's actually from Derry or something, or one of the Castle Rock fucking, neighborhoods.
So at Brady's funeral, everybody is gathered while Reverend Lowe gives a sermon. Afterwards, Red offers to take Marty home while the rest of the family heads off to do God knows what. And on the way out, fucking Marty tells Red that maybe it's not a person doing all these murders. Maybe it's a monster or werewolf. Red tells Marty that he's crazy. The only thing broken about him isn't just his legs. And the police are going to catch whoever's doing it.
Wait, yeah, okay, so I have a thing here. Why don't you get that idea out of your head? The cops are gonna catch him. You'll find out he's as normal as you or me. Well, for motherfucking starters, Gary Busey is saying that, so that's kind of an unfair playing ground.
Well, at this point, Busey hasn't had the accident, so he's sane.
Dude, is he? He's a little squirrely. He's a little wild. I mean,
He's just drunk.
Maybe he's the wild turkey. Maybe he's the liquor Andy.
So later that night, the town folk have now formed like a militia. And they're in the fucking tavern, and they're planning a patrol of the streets when Sheriff Haller breaks up the fucking party, tells everybody to go home. But Brady's dad fucking makes this speech.
Oh, they just pan over to him, and he is just, I don't even know what the word, he's just eerily hanging out. Like, oh, you were here the whole time?
Yeah.
This whole public justice thing or whatever?
Yeah. Starts fucking talking about public justice and fucking gets everybody riled up. He also mentions that his
Private
son,
justice.
Yeah, private justice. That's what it is. And his son is buried in like Heavenly Hills or
Harmony
Hills, which is a throwback to Salem's Lot.
So it's what he says is to the fucking sheriff. He's like, "Why don't you dig up what's left of my boy and tell him about social justice?
Private justice.
Private justice.
Private justice?
All right. Now, I swear to God, these fucking townspeople spend more time in this bar than the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So
all right.
They all head out for some private justice while Reverend Lowe shows up and fucking tries to stop everybody. And the fucking sheriff's like, just let him go, man.
Let him get that private justice.
They're going to kill somebody. And
some of that community gathering you were talking about in your fucking minister.
So we cut to the mob as they're walking through the woods near the park where Brady was found. And one of the members steps in a bear trap. Right? It for no reason.
Are there bears in that area?
But he fucking steps in a bear trap. Then he tries to get it off, and it goes off again.
Yeah, that dude does not have it. Which one is that? Is that the part of the old couple?
No, I don't know who this guy is. I don't. I mean,
you know
see him in like the bar, but
maybe he got his fucking leg clamped on, and then he bounced out. Like, fuck this.
Everybody else just fucking moves on too. They're just like, he'll figure it out. No one stops. Like one guy stops to help. That's
for
right.
a second.
So everybody moves on deeper in the woods. A small group now is being stalked.
You say woods, I hear soundstage, because this is what they fucking come to, and that's exactly what it looks like.
So they're
that
being
fog machine is up to 11.
Right? It's like a swamp.
And I love it.
So they're being stalked by the werewolf as...
The werewolf?
like, they start hearing some fucking noises, and all of a sudden, one of the fucking hunters is fucking mauled from behind. Another has his...
You mean death number 5, baby black ribs? The werewolf slashes the hunter and then throws him into trees, which I guess he might have been able to crawl out on his own, but fuck it, he is dead.
Another hunter has his face ripped off.
Oh, the little wimp?
Yeah.
Death number 6, face mignon. The old wimp gets grabbed up and then fucking yanked out of the fog. When he pops up, he ain't got half a face.
And we get a third kill, which is Owen, the bartender. He is killed trying to run away, and as he fucking goes down, he tries to fucking hit the werewolf with his fucking peacemaker bat.
2 successful hits, and then the third one,
the fucking werewolf grabs the bat,
like gnaws it in half, takes it, and beats him with his own bat.
Beats him to death with his own fucking bat.
Death number 7, assault and battery, or peacemaker made its peace.
Later on...
hold up. We have 3 other deaths. Process of elimination, just because they don't show them, you don't see the rest of these people in the movie. You got the old couple, you making lemonade in your pants? And then the other black hunter, they're not in the rest of the movie.
I mean, there's a lot of people that aren't in the rest of the movie.
But, I mean, so Andy is Mutton Chops. He's the shitbag that runs the fucking hardware store. Somehow, he makes it out alive. And
I'm assuming that the rest of them do as well, because you get a scene later where you only see 3 coffins. Not 4. 3.
Yeah, that was in a werewolf's dream fantasy.
So, Father Lowe holds a funeral for all 3 of them and tries to offer some comfort when Brady's dad has an outburst in the middle of the church about how there is no comfort and there is only private justice. The Reverend looks out as everybody's like hate fucking him. And he sees now that all the people in the church begin to turn into werewolves.
Starting to feel a little wolfy, get a little hairy.
When he fucking like... It's nuts. Like, they're fucking slowly fucking turning into it. Everybody's fucking doing it. The fucking sheriff,
great.
the moms, the old
chick playing the organ.
And then we noticed this earlier. She's fucking playing it, and like fucking blood is shooting out of the fucking organ.
Yes, like out of the keys, it's just seeping blood, and everybody fucking wolfs out. And this dude does a sonic wolf scream and shatters all the windows.
Then all of a sudden, the fucking Reverend wakes up. Boom! It was just a fucking nightmare, right? He's all fucking sweaty in his bed. The next day, we see that the town's fireworks have been canceled due to all the murders. And Marty is bummed as Jane continues to pick on him because he isn't getting something that he wants before the family heads back to their home where they're going to host a barbecue instead.
You know, they should. Sorry, the moose up front should have told you that the park was going to be closed.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. Moose outside should have told you.
Also, Jeannie is being a fucking bitch because Marty's best friend just died, and why is she acting like that? What the fuck, lady? Like, can you be sensitive to your little brother? I mean, and then Mom, I think, even says, like, you keep it up, I'm gonna fucking slap you in the mouth. And, like, if I was Dad, I already would, like, fucking knuckle kissed her face, be like, you get in the back.
No, you tell her to, actually, Jane, one sec, can you take your seatbelt off? And then fucking hit the brakes really hard.
Ooh.
Fucking send her to the back of the seat. Give her the Marsha Brady fucking nose. Don't be a bitch, Jane.
Yeah, no, like, for real, that. If you drank every time she was being a bitch in this fucking movie, you'd never be like,
hammered.
Ow. You'd be like Uncle Red.
So while everyone else is hanging out in the backyard at the barbecue, Uncle Red and Marty are up front talking about all the stuff that's happened, what's going on. You know, Brady's dead. Tammy,
your best gal's out of town.
moved away.
The fucking. I don't really see on the grand cosmic scale how fireworks being canceled is important as your best friend being killed.
I mean, you're 11, so you're probably not like really grasping the whole like scope of everything, but like you are now missing out on like giant explosions. So I mean, I get it.
All right.
So they talk about all the stuff that's been going wrong or on in the town as fucking Uncle Red tells Marty that he has a surprise in the garage for him. Red then shows Marty a new upgraded silver bullet.
The titular silver bullet.
Right? It's like a 3-wheeler. So it's
wheelchair, motorcycle, scooter, hybrid.
It's got a fucking wheelchair in the middle of it with actual fucking wheels that Marty can move. But it's also a fucking like 3-wheeler fucking motorcycle thing. It's crazy looking. It's huge. Like the other one resembled a wheelchair, like the original silver bullet.
It was like the proto stage. This thing is full on beast fucking mode. And it goes super, super fast.
Right. He sets up Marty for a test drive and fucking Marty fucking tears ass down the road while fucking Uncle Red watches.
Uncle Red, I'm sorry, like, I know this is your nephew and everything and you love him, but like, could you have given him a fucking helmet maybe? Like, I mean,
foreshadowing for Gary Busey's real life.
Oh shit! That wasn't what I was softballing for you, but anyway.
So when Marty gets back, Red warns him to be careful since the fucking new silver bullet goes extremely fast, and also not to tell his mom how fast it goes.
Or I'll end up in the Vienna Boys Choir.
After the barbecue, Uncle Red goes to take off. Before he leaves, he gives Marty...
Hold up. Red says his goodbyes, and then, like, when he's with the family, he tells Marty to walk him to his car.
Oh, shit, I missed that.
Yeah. And
Damn.
then he gives him the...
So then he gives him, after Marty walks him to his car. What a shitty thing to say.
Right, I mean, I get it. That's like a funny uncle thing, but, like, I don't know, dog. That's a little risque.
He gives Marty a bag of fireworks since they've canceled the towns, and he jokingly tells him to watch out for werewolves while he's lighting them before heading out, right? I think watch out for them werewolves.
Because this is for the good guys. It's like, you know, it's kind of a cool little speech. And he's like, stay close to the house. Stay close to the house.
Later in the evening, Marty fucking sneaks out of the house and heads to the creek in the park to light off some of his fireworks.
Marty's parents must be fucking deaf because you can't hear that Frankenstein Dracula out in the front lawn just fucking 2 a.m. or whatever.
And here's the thing, like, he crawls out of a second-story window.
Dude, he's got that upper body strength. We
to
can't
get
even
down.
argue that.
Like, it's fucking insane how this fucking paralyzed kid is doing this.
Legs probably don't weigh much. Shit, that sounded terrible. But he's got that upper body strength, so he's just like, you know, jostling him down.
It's a weird scene for sure. So he fucking heads off to the creek to light some fucking fireworks when we see the werewolf is now stalking Marty.
So he's sitting on the bridge lighting off all these fucking bottle rockets, and Marty gets too close to the dragon fire he set off, and it's like exploding next to him, and the werewolf comes up and starts screaming, Marty, put it in reverse! Put it in reverse, Marty! Oh, loud! Oh, Jesus, what you doing, Marty? Get loud!
That must be in the European version.
Yes. Morty doesn't like being talked to like that, so he pulls out his rocket and shoots it right in the fucking eye of the werewolf.
So while Marty continues to light off the fireworks, in my version, the werewolf moves in to attack Marty, and Marty, to defend himself, fucking picks up fucking one of the big rockets and launches it at the werewolf, and it nails him in the fucking eye before he escapes at top speed on the silver bullet.
He tears... Oh, okay, so I was thinking of this. This movie would have been over if the werewolf came from the other side of the bridge. Right? I mean, that thing didn't have any fucking rear view mirrors on it.
So Marty gets back home and he fucking calls his uncle to, like, tell him what he fucking saw and everything like that, but, like, his uncle does not believe him whatsoever. And we talked about this scene earlier. Like, he wakes him up in what is clearly a hotel room, and since we know he's getting through a divorce, this is probably a hooker?
Or some chick from Plowtown. I don't know if Lady of the Night, but, right.
So, in the morning, Marty is sitting in the silver bullet.
Looks super distraught.
Just kind of fucking minding his own business.
I would be too.
Mulling over what he just saw last night. As Jane comes up, and he tells Jane what he saw, and then...
First time she's being decent this whole fucking movie.
Right. Jane then, you get it, like the narration, like older Jane, talks about how she believed Marty's story, and then she wants to help him. So what Jane does is she goes out to search for anyone in the town...
Oh, because she's collecting cans for this fucking, like, Med U drive.
She has one, like, she's looking for anybody that has one eye or, like, fucking wears in a patch. And she's using a collection of cans and bottles for the church charity drive as a ruse to stop by people's homes and businesses.
Oh, hold up, bud. She's multitasking. She's still doing a good thing.
And it's like, she's going to everybody's house and she's, like, looking at the fucking husbands and the wives. She stops by the fucking barber shop and the fucking restaurant.
This is what I want to talk about, the barber shop. So she goes in there, and it's fucking Andy, who led the Justice Rogue, the Beer Belly Brigade, what was it? The Lynch Mob, into the fucking woods, and he's just sitting there with a hot towel on his face after he saw 3 or 6 people get murdered by a fucking werewolf, and he's just like, oh, or she's like, do you have any cans? He's just like, no. I'm sorry, if I just saw 6 or 3 people get murdered by a werewolf, I wouldn't be getting my fucking hair cut. I'd be in my basement with that shit locked with my shotgun and drinking fucking 101 Wild Turkey like Uncle Red. That man's fucking grief counselor must be Mother Teresa or something. I don't fucking know. It's ridiculous.
Well, he's doing that hot towel therapy, man. Like,
Right.
he's super relaxed. Like, he doesn't want to fucking talk about it. He doesn't want to fucking move.
He's just bottling it up so he can go fucking insane.
And he's like real comfortable too. He's like fucking one leg kind of up on the fucking bottom of the chair, just fucking crossed in there. And he's looking like he's taking a good nap. I wouldn't want to be bothered either. So Jane doesn't see anyone with like one eye or like an eye patch or anything. So she's got a fucking cart full of cans and bottles. So she decides to head over to the church to actually drop off what she's been collecting. When she meets Reverend Lowe outside working in his garden.
This is such a great reveal. Like, it's her in the background, and then it's just like, Marty's a booger, and then like you cut to his face, it slowly pans over, and he has a fucking
yeah, the fucking Reverend has a fucking like eye patch, like
some gauze. He's just like,
yeah.
yes, Jeannie, little brothers can be quite the pain in the dick hole.
The pain in the eye.
Pain in the eye. Oof.
I have an earache in my eye.
What?
So we now know that obviously the Reverend could be the werewolf because he did not have this fucking patch before.
Could be, or the answer is fucking give it to you because let's think of the foreshadowing. No, drunk people with guns, please don't go in the woods and fight this werewolf. This werewolf dream I had up in church where I wake up sweaty in bed saying, oh God, please Lord, make it stop.
Right, he's the fucking werewolf.
He's the fucking Reverend Werewolf.
So as Jane is putting all the cans and bottles in the shed, per the fucking Reverend's request,
Jeannie don't know yet.
She is startled and knocks over a large pile of cans.
Because of a little mouse.
Right, where she discovers the broken top of fucking Owen's peacemaker bat. The Reverend then fucking goes in to check on the noise and Jane when she notices the eye patch that she did not see before.
Right.
And fucking then she comes to the understanding that the Reverend is clearly the fucking werewolf and she takes the fuck
She knows that he knows that he knows that she knows about him being a werewolf and she knows about it too.
Right. So Jane then heads back home and
she's
tells...
playing coy. It's like, it's what smells like werewolf in here? I gotta go. My mom's making werewolf loaf.
Oh my God, it smells like wet dog in here, Rev. I gotta go. I'm out this piece.
Deuces.
Nice eyewear, by the way. It's pretty fancy. Nice bling. So she heads back home, tells Marty what she now knows, and asks Marty what they should do. And Marty says he knows just what to do. And this
if
next
you are
scene,
a fucking serial killer,
this is what you do if you're planning on fucking murdering people. This is insane. So we see the next scene. It's fucking Marty pasting together like a ransom note. And I'm using this as the term because when I say ransom note, you obviously know I'm talking about.
Exactly what I'm talking about. You're cutting all the fucking letters out of the newspaper and
right.
You're gluing them in, like the capital F from glam or wait, there's no F in there. Whatever, from farm living or whatever.
The capital F from glamour.
It's silent, okay? It's in the European cut I have, all right?
The capital Z from giraffe.
It's giraffe. Get it right. God
grab your ears, jerk real hard, and pull your head out of your ass, Nachos.
No,
God,
I can't do it. I'm not a spelling man.
And this fucking note it's intense. It gets right to the point.
It's like,
it says,
do you have it?
We know who you are. We know what you are. Why don't you just kill yourself? It's like, damn, Marty, you're 11. Dial it down a little bit. But I get it, right? People are fucking dying. Your best friend's fucking dead. You want to get
your
to
best gal's out of town. You fucking launched. I fucking love that the whole time while Reverend Lowe is reading this, he looks 110% like Jesse Custer from Preacher fame.
So as Jane drops the fucking, note in the mailbox to anonymously be mailed to the fucking
Reverend. And then one the next day. And then one the day after.
Right. We get this fucking, narration that Jane and fucking Marty sailed several fucking more letters. And we get a nice scene of the fucking Reverend reading one of them.
It's just like, they forgot to dot the I.
And then they go and tell their Uncle Red what they've been doing. And Red is so fucking funny. Like, he doesn't believe what the kids are saying about the werewolf, but he does believe that they're fucking sending fucking hate mail.
Why don't you tell the Reverend he could gargle with broken glass or eat a rat poison omelet?
Right.
So, all right, when they tell him this, he freaks out and says, "Holy jumped up bald-headed Jesus Palomino." I have no idea what that meant until I researched it. So, in other words, Uncle Red is saying, biblical bald centaur Jesus who suffers from delusions of grandeur. Followed up with, sometimes I think your common sense got paralyzed with your legs. So They don't tackle it at any point in this movie.
Why Marty is paralyzed?
Yeah.
No, they don't. Like, if it was born that way, or was it like an accident?
Actually, I researched it and I found the origin of that.
Go ahead.
So, Uncle Red and Marty are wrestling around when they're younger, and then Uncle Red says, "Hey, Marty, you like Batman?" And Marty says, "Yeah." And then Uncle Red says, "Did you read Nightfall?" And then Marty says, "No." And then he picks him up and breaks his spine over his knee.
How did he do that when Nightfall came 10 years after this movie?
Paradoxes. It was based on a true story.
Uncle Red has a time machine.
Uncle Red is a time machine. He drinks that fucking wild turkey and he blacks out for days at times, and then he wakes up in different time periods.
So Doc Brown invented a time machine.
Marty!
Right?
You get your damn hands off her!
So later, as Marty is...
Wait, hold up. And the one scene, I'm a little too old to be playing the Hardy Boys meet Reverend Werewolf. Which, I want that.
That is how that scene ends. I do like that. Gary Busey's fucking dialogue in this movie is fucking
He's a
fantastic.
little treasure.
So later, as Marty is now watching some kids play baseball.
Not very healthy. That's probably not...
Right?
Like, look at these functioning legs.
Gonna have to bring this up with the fucking therapist later. We see fucking Reverend Lowe is following Marty in his car, and he continues to follow him on his way home before, like, he just says fuck it and tries to run Marty over.
Yeah. This is full on, not like there's some biblical tie-ins that... Oh, wait, would they address this coming up?
And he's not even like...
Go ahead.
He's not even like wolfed out or anything.
No, he's
like,
just being a... Well...
He is a full fucking human. He's like, I'm gonna kill this kid with my car. So Marty is able to outrun him because the fucking new Silver Bullet
is a fucking ripper, dude.
Right? It's fucking crazy.
Like, I had to change Mantis 3 different times while watching this episode.
I mean, he sideswipes him a couple times. Don't get me wrong.
Right,
like, the Reverend gets some hits in, but the Silver Bullet, it's like stands the fucking test there.
It's kind of like some fucking Twisted Metal Black shit going on, and he's like
right?
Mr. Grimm, and oh my god! So is he Spectre?
Spectre.
Deep cut.
So Marty's able to outrun him in the Silver Bullet, but the Reverend still chases him down, and they end up at like this old like
covered bridge,
like covered fucking mining bridge thing.
And Marty is a fucking asshole because they've showed it multiple different times in this movie that Marty doesn't value how to keep your fucking gas tank full.
Right, he looks at it as he's fucking running from the Reverend. It's like close to empty, and he's like flicks it like it's gonna fucking help. And so he runs out of gas while he's in this fucking covered bridge.
Level.
So, you know, the fucking Reverend now has him fucking cornered because Marty ain't fucking going nowhere. The Reverend gets out of the car and starts walking towards him, telling him that he's about to have a terrible accident and fall into the river, you know, because he's gonna fucking kill him. And he just fucking goes in this whole spiel about it.
I would have been fine if you just would have left me alone, but you didn't, you meddling little shit.
When Marty hears the local farmer driving his tractor on by,
Mr. Zimmerman!
Right? And he fucking starts screaming for Mr. Zimmerman's fucking help, which...
And his amazing riding pig.
Right? Which fucking, I guess, forces, like, the Reverend's like, too many people now.
Bye.
Two people and a pig.
Alright, so this conversation is very similar to a little movie we may have watched last week called Fright Night, when Jerry's telling Charlie, hey, if you just shut the fuck up and let me do my thing, we ain't got no problem here, buddy.
Right?
Right?
So I guess, like, Reverend's like, I can handle an 11-year-old boy. But a grown man, 11-year-old boy...
And a tractor.
And a tractor and a pig.
Nope, I'm out.
I'm out this shit.
That pig can spell.
That's one of them smart pigs. So, back at his house, Marty, Jane, and Uncle Red go over what just happened when Red fucking finally starts to buy into it because he notices there's some fucking car paint on all the fucking dings on the Silver Bullet.
Is just like, he's like, fuck, I don't want to believe these assholes. Jenny, what color's the Reverend's car? That color.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and that matches the Reverend's car.
It's like, fuck, there's some facts to this story.
God damn it. So Red, fucking now fully on board, goes to the police station and he tells...
I would say fully, but about a good 75.
Right?
Minus the werewolf aspect, but go ahead, dog.
Right, either way, he's believing that there's a killer Reverend out there. And he tells Sheriff Holler all about it, and while Sheriff Joe does not believe the story about the werewolf, he does agree that the Reverend does warrant further investigation and goes to check him out. Later on, Sheriff Holler is at the church looking for the Reverend.
In the middle of the night, he sneaks up.
Right, but he cannot find him. So he instead
Yeah,
checks
'cause
the
he's
garage.
probably asleep because it's like 2 in the fucking morning.
Right? And he wants to check the car, and he sees the paint scuffs on the fucking car from hitting Marty in the silver bullet that Red told him about earlier.
Actually, it's the sheriff sneaks into Lowe's garage, and he ducks down to inspect the car, and he says to himself, "Who am I here?"
You Sheriff fucking stepfather.
Yes, yeah.
Who am I here? Reverend Lowe finds Sheriff Holler in the garage and asks him if he can help before fucking werewolfing out.
See, he's being nice, but he's also sticking it to you at the same time.
Yep. So then he fucking attacks old fucking Sheriff stepfather.
He starts snorting and fucking wolfs his little collar off.
And he doesn't like kill him werewolf style. This is another one where he fucking beats him to death with the fucking...
He's in the throes, like he's wolfing out.
But he beats him with fucking Owen's baseball bat.
That's right.
Hard.
Death number 11, an officer and a werewolf.
11?
Yeah, those 3 other kills that I'm counting.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. This is death number 8, sir.
Well, this isn't the 3 and 4 coffins thing. That's different. 3 people died, and then the 3 other people that are unaccountable for, and then somehow...
I mean, that was a lynch mob of like 30 people. You don't see any of them ever again. You can't call that.
They were in different quadrants.
3 people died. They never mention it off screen. If anybody else died, it's only 3 people. Get used to it.
You know what? The old couple, the dude that was making, the other black dude, he's out. He's still running. He ran all the way. He pulled the Forrest Gump. He lives on the fucking West Coast now. And then the fucking the old couple, they just he died of dehydration from peeing himself so hard, and then she died of fright. So that is
no.
The mob squad is dead.
It's
all right. And then fucking
no, this is death number 8. I mean, you think that there's a fucking F in glamour, so I know you also can't count, but it's death number 8, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but there's 2 F's in fabulous.
The next day, Marty tells Red and Jane that he thinks the Sheriff Holler is dead. He and Jane...
Like, we haven't heard from him in a day, and you're just assuming?
Right? They give Red their silver cross necklace, and Marty's got like a silver medallion. And
it's a swastika. It's very tasteless.
They tell
Marty was going through a weird phase.
Nazi phase. They tell him that he needs to make a fucking silver bullet so they can kill, Reverend Werewolf. Uncle Red then takes the necklaces and he heads over to the local gunsmith. He tells him that his nephew has just discovered the Lone Ranger and that he would like a silver bullet made for him.
So you know the lore of the Lone Ranger and all that shit?
I don't.
Okay. So I think that it's actually pretty badass, but like it's from the 1930s and shit, so we don't... So it's like he is kind of Walker, Texas Ranger, but like his whole fucking crew got smoked. So then like he kind of has this ghostly visage kind of going on, and he only uses silver bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Which, where the fuck are you going to
He
get
just
all
roams
that
around doing frontier justice with Tonto.
Yeah, and his horse, Silver. That's kind of the shtick with that.
Hi-ho, Silver.
Right.
Right.
And the horse is actually made of silver, too.
It's a silver.
Silver centaur.
It's got a silver tongue.
Yeah. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You leave.
So, got the silver bullet made. When the smith completes it, he tells Red...
He's a wizard of old world trades or something. A master at his art.
Right.
I feel like this is some Castlevania 2 bullshit. Like, you gotta find him out in the woods and give him a fucking orb and kneel in front of a wall or whatever.
He tells Uncle Red that this is the finest bullet he's ever made, and it should be pretty accurate.
Which is fucking bullshit.
Goes a little bit of detail.
Look at that bullet. It has, like, fucked up press marks and all this shit. It's got marbling. And, I don't know. For sake of the story, I'm going to quit nitpicking.
Right. So
yeah, but anyway, did you see that?
Uncle Red jokes about, like, he's like, what the fuck am I going to use a .44 caliber silver bullet for? And the smith's just like...
Dude slides in, like, right to his face and goes, it's a werewolf.
How about a werewolf?
You're gonna kill a werewolf with it. And then, like, he starts licking his ear a little bit, and he's like, oh, okay.
But he does. He leans in. He's like, how about a werewolf?
And then, like, he smiles and all of his teeth are silver bullets.
And then
you're
he
like,
farts.
what? And then he shoots he farts and he shoots a dog. It's like, what?
So then we've got Jane, who narrates that the next full moon just happened to be on Halloween night.
Oh!
And by a happy coincidence, their parents won a trip out of town
to New York City.
Right? And that Uncle Red is now watching them while they're gone. And this is fucking great because, like, Marty and Jane are like, did you really win Publisher Clearinghouse trip? And he's like, no, but I didn't win a subscription to Popular Mechanics.
I mean, real talk, dude. You're walking away the winner there. So, all right, we were kind of toying around with this notion. So, like, did he just send them on a fucking wild goose chase?
Or did he, like, buy them a hotel for the
night?
Right.
Some, like, I hope it's the second one, because otherwise...
Right. Guess who's never coming to visit again?
It's Uncle Red.
Uncle Shitbag.
All right, and then, so, like, when the parents are headed out, Bob, the dad, it's the first time any valuable dialogue from him. He's just like, don't let those kids run you ragged. And then bitch-ass Nan, it's like, don't let any trick-or-treaters in the house.
Right?
It's like, get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Go, Nan.
I'll throw Salt Rock at your vagina face. You're
this
the worst.
is why fucking Jane's so terrible.
No shit.
She gets it from her mom.
Runs in the family. Fucking throw a toaster in her bathtub.
You know what doesn't run in the family?
Oh! the water, because they got the taps fixed.
I was going to go with
right?
Marty. But...
Whoa, hey. Using that comedy crutch over there, dog? That ain't funny.
So...
edit all of that out.
What's damn funny? The three of them are now waiting in the house, and then it's fucking 3 a.m., and Uncle Red's just fucking getting tired of this bullshit. He's like falling asleep with a fucking gun in his lap.
Burns himself with a cigarette, drops the gun goes off, shoots Marty right between the eyes, and then the credits roll.
Shoots him in the leg and sticks in his knee, and Marty's like, did you drop this?
Then fucking Uncle Red puts the wild turkey to Marty's forehead, puts it in there, and then fucking like shotguns it out of his mouth while he's essentially making out with his nephew and getting drunk. And the werewolf's in the corner tearing his dick out its socket, but it'll grow back because werewolves
grow dicks back.
Yeah.
So
it's in the old lore.
Fucking Uncle Red, he burns himself with a fucking cigarette. He drops the gun. He fucking gets all pissed off. He's like, God damn it, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Fucking nothing's gonna happen. He's not
starting to get that familiar feeling. He's feeling like a horse's ass.
You know what he's doing?
What?
He's sobering up.
Oh shit.
So when this is all going on, he's fucking gonna make the kids go to bed. But then Jane sees the goddamn werewolf right outside the fucking window.
Right before that, I'm sorry, dude. This is like the part of the movie I actually took notes for. It's like, all right, you go to bed. You go to bed. And he's like, what if I don't want to go to bed? And he's like, I'll kick your ass.
What if I kick your ass?
Right? And then the werewolf creepaboo, and he's like, hey, guys. And then Janie's like, squawk!
There's a fucking werewolf outside.
And then it's like, did you see it? No, I was staring at you. Then it cuts the power like Sam Fisher.
Uncle Red goes to investigate out the fucking window. He doesn't see anything.
He sees the fucking werewolf's ruby red lipstick flopping up on the window.
And that's when fucking outside we see the werewolf fucking yank on a bunch of cables of the power box.
Is that a Paramount thing from the fucking 80s? Jason did that in like three movies? I don't know. And Manfred Deans doesn't do this music.
So he fucking rips out these wires, killing the fucking lights in the house.
And the mood.
Uncle Red says not to panic, right? But
as everyone is fucking panicking.
Fucking Marty and Jane are fucking freaking out because they know it's the werewolf.
And they're staring at that fucking hallway because they hear that noise over there.
Yep.
And everything's good until fucking SS Wolfenstein fucking Kool-Aid Man's through the goddamn wall.
Yeah, they're fucking all arguing as the fucking werewolf breaks through the front door and fucking attacks Uncle Red, which makes him fucking drop the gun. And the silver bullet.
Right, because during the fumbling, when he was doubting them, he's like, fuck this.
He took the fucking bullet out of the gun.
Which, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, then we wouldn't have this scene.
The fucking
bullet flies across, and Marty, like, falls out of his chair reaching for it, bounces off the wall and goes right down the grate.
Yeah, right in the fucking air vent in the floor. And the fucking werewolf is now fucking tossing Gary Busey.
Rough housing.
All over the fucking place. Fucking Jane goes for the gun and then tries to distract the werewolf while Marty fucking goes for the bullet from the vent.
Then the Reverend Werewolf chokes the fucking piss shit out of Janie. Then Uncle Red is like, I want you to meet my friend. Who? This log. And clobbers him in the fucking back, dude.
Right? Uncle Red fucking gets back up fucking after being tossed aside a whole bunch. Tries to beat the shit out of the werewolf fucking with the log. And then fucking gets tossed aside again like an old condom.
He gets thrown so hard he goes fucking horizontal.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Marty gets the silver bullet out of the grate, and Jane gives him the gun. And then as the fucking werewolf was about to go in for the attack, Marty takes aim and shoots the fucking werewolf in his only good eye,
Fucking bullseyes that motherfucker.
instantly killing him.
He recoils all. Ah!
And the werewolf fucking
Slowly.
goes back to the fucking wall and starts to fucking slide down the fucking wall, and he slowly transforms back into fucking Reverend Lowe.
Slowly. It's a good effect.
It is cool. It's like one of those reverse ones. Like
it
kind of
reminds me of the old Wolfman, like as he's slowly, but I mean much better.
Right. So now Red, Jane, and Marty check to see if everybody's all right. When Marty says one of the most fucked up things in the movie,
This is legit.
he's like, everything is fine except his legs. When Jane asks what Marty means, Marty says that he doesn't think he'll be able to walk.
Ba-dum-ba-ba-dum, yuck, yuck.
I just have right here paraplegic humor.
Right? Self-deprecating paraplegic humor.
And then the film ends as we get a final narration from Marty about how now she loves her brother.
This is so weird.
And then the credits roll.
Is it like her reading him a bedtime story? Is this at a funeral? It's like we don't get enough information about that. That's very
I think
peculiar.
it's the story from Jane's point of view, and she's like telling it. You don't know who she's telling it to, but she just seems to be telling the story. We would have benefited from a older Jane in the beginning, and then at the end, like telling the story to somebody, right? A psychiatrist or like somebody who's writing a book.
She's fucking Hannibal Lecter to a gurney kind of thing,
right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and roll credits, and that's the end of the movie.
No.
So, you want to see a dead body?
I want to see a dead fucking body.
So we have 9 total deaths. 9.
Questionable.
9.
Do I have to snap a pencil?
9 total deaths. 1 off screen.
The brain stays alive for 10 to 12 minutes. That's a little
Number 1,
reanimator.
Arnie decapitated.
Alcohol abuse.
Number 2, Stella mauled.
Dr. Werewolf's traveling abortion service.
Number 3, Tammy's dad
1, 2, 3.
gets the wooden plank in the stomach. Number 4 is Brady. He's mauled off screen.
Country fried gravy.
Country Fried Brady.
That's right.
Number 5,
Biscuits and Brady.
Hunter number 1 gets mauled in the back and tossed
Baby
into
black
the tree.
ribs.
Number 6 is Hunter number 2 gets his face ripped off.
Face mignon.
Number 7 is Owen, who is beaten with his own baseball bat.
What do I have for that? Whatever.
Number 8 is Sheriff Joe Haller, who is beaten to death with Owen's baseball bat.
A werewolf and a gentleman.
Number 9, Reverend Lowe, shot in the eye with the silver bullet.
Oh, I don't have anything for that.
So, Nachos, what was your favorite kill?
Oh, shit, dude. All right. Ooh, let's think about that. All right. We got a sweet decapitation, a slash and throw around. What's 3? Oh, man. That third one's pretty good. 4. I don't know. Jeff, you lead the charge. I'll get back to you on that.
My favorite kill I have down is Arnie's. The very first one you see.
Yeah.
It sets up the whole movie. 2 minutes in, you get a pretty graphic, like, decapitation. And they even, like, show the head, like, on the ground later next to the fucking decapitated body.
It's like Hereditary.
Yeah, it's fucking really cool. So, I definitely have that one down as my favorite death. I mean, there are some neat ones in here. I love the hunter who gets his fucking face peeled off. Because you don't see it. Like, when he cops back up, he's just missing half his fucking face.
There's fog in the way. It kind of distorts it, which is upsetting. You don't get to see Brady's death. Or
I'm glad for that. That one's going to be a little too much.
Right. Like, I'm an edgelord, but
Right.
I think the less we see in that scenario is the better.
So I definitely go with Arnie. I love that death. How about you?
Well, fuck, dude. I mean, none of these deaths are full on gruesome. I mean, they're all gruesome, but like they don't linger on it.
Right.
It's fucking Arnie, dude. It's Arnie.
It is one of the best ones. You ready for some stuff you should know?
Okay, yeah, shoot.
So the movie itself is actually like a Stephen King. So you see like Stephen King's Silver Bullet. It is based on the story Cycle of the Werewolf.
Motorcycle of the Werewolf.
So, which actually, you know, I should look into that to see what the origin of Marty's, you know, reason for being in the wheelchair.
He was a
because I bet it's
trapeze
probably
artist.
in there.
The Joker shot him in the spine.
The director and Stephen King allowed Gary Busey to ad-lib a lot of his dialogue.
You tell Busey he can't.
Right? Which makes fucking sense, because he just says some fucking off-the-wall shit for sure.
Jumping Jesus, bald-headed Palomino.
And this one I thought was really neat. So Gary Busey did all his own stunts. Now, while there's not a lot of fucking stunts going on here, in the film's ending where he is thrown around the room, Busey said that this was achieved by having him off camera run and jump
On a
onto
trampoline?
an air-compressed catapult, which would then launch him through the air and into various pieces of breakaway furniture.
I was gonna say, when that whole ruckus is occurring, they cut away from shit to where it looks like it. Because I was like, man, that stuntman looks like Busey. I would have been like, I'm coming at you. Focus on my fucking face, because I'm getting stunt
the big
credit
one
too.
Is that he sustained an actual injury in the part where he gets fucking tossed sideways and lands into that mirror.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, due to the fucking artificial glass that they fucking shatter, like when he hits
Sugar
it.
glass.
Yeah. You actually see this in the film, that there is a piece of the fucking mirror embedded into his arm.
Dude.
And it's like fucking bleeding. Now that's the real fucking glass that fucking sticks in his arm as he fucking falls to the ground. He went on to say also that his reaction of the werewolf breaking through the wall was
That's real.
genuine.
They didn't tell him they were gonna bust through the wall. I
Yeah.
think it's like he's gonna come in through. So like they all
Where
look like
they have him looking is where they say he's gonna come from, and then they fucking have him bust through because it was not rehearsed and they did it in a fucking single take.
looks like he was getting ready to loaf.
Right. So your final cuts on this movie, your final thoughts, my friend.
Well, I enjoyed the movie. I mean, fuck, dude, it's one of the finest werewolf movies. If somebody asked me, Nachos McWerewolf, what are your top 5 favorite werewolf movies?
Nachos McWerewolf, what are your top 5 favorite werewolf movies?
Howling 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf. Howling 3, The Marsupial. Howling 4, The Creep Show. No, I'm joking. So I hate to say it, we live in a society where good werewolf movies are hard to find.
They are.
So I go OG, and in no particular order, Universal Wolfman. Because without that, I say The Howling, which The Howling is fucking amazing. That's 2. Silver Bullet, Dog Soldiers, and I feel like I'm forgetting. Yeah, it's not American Werewolf in London. I'm sorry. An American Werewolf in Paris. No, I'm just kidding. That's CG Werebears. So I said, what am I fucking missing? A really good one.
I don't know.
Yeah. Scratching my head on this.
So no particular order, American Werewolf in London,
Yeah.
Silver Bullet, The Howling, Dog Soldiers, and Bad Moon.
Bad Moon was surprisingly good. I didn't think I'd like that. How does Wolf?
I really like Wolf. It's got a lot of love story into it, but I mean, it's fucking Jack Nicholson as a fucking werewolf.
Late Phases. The one where like the old dude who's kind of like a Charles Bronson-esque dude, and he's in that senior community and he's blind. If you guys don't know this one, check it out. It's kind of a lesser known gem. Well, and so is fucking Dog Soldiers. That's a fucking a real banger, as the kids would say.
So, your final thoughts? Just love the movie, or
oh, actually, do I do this bit now, or do we have another segment for this?
What bit? I don't know.
I have how I would personally, what I would like to see in the evolution of this. Is this that segment I do that in?
Yep.
All right.
I don't know, dude. You've only done so many of these episodes. You fucking tell me.
I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
I have the fucking memory of a goldfish. All right. So this movie's great. I give it as a werewolf movie and an 80s slasher movie. I give it 9 suicides go to hell, especially when they're pregnant. Out of you make eliminated in your pants. So what I wanted to see is, and this always gets me, we tackle with this in Fright Night, Charlie gets bit by the fucking vampire bat when Uncle Red is fighting Reverend Werewolf. He's getting thrashed around pretty good. Tooth and nail is occurring. Uncle Red got tarnished by that werewolf, and I don't know what lore you're working with. If wolf's bane, you rub up on it, you turn into a werewolf. You get bit by a werewolf, you turn into a werewolf. You get scratched by a werewolf. A fucking werewolf snot rockets down your throat, you turn into a werewolf. Uncle Red turns into a werewolf, but this is a late residual thing, creeping later on, because that summer Marty needs to take some time off because a werewolf encounter and scenario is a big fucking deal. So he goes to a summer camp, and while he's at that summer camp, he runs into the Frog Brothers. And then from there, the Frog Brothers have to team up and help dispatch Uncle Red the werewolf So this works as an open-ended or an open pilot for a Silver Bullet Lost Boys crossover, or Uncle Red, because he uses alcohol to fucking keep the lycanthropism at bay. So he's a drunk werewolf, and he helps fight vampires with the Frog Brothers. You can't do any of this because half that cast is dead anyway.
My final thoughts
Baba Booey. There we
are, we've just been saying it the whole time. I just love this movie. I'm very saddened that I didn't see it until later in life.
That's the
fun
best time.
Fucking werewolf movie. As far as what you were saying about Gary Busey, I go with that the werewolf has to bite you to transform you. Now, with Fright Night, that bat wasn't necessarily doing like the vampire bite, so I don't really see
So
that
it's a
transforming
signature
him.
move. Like, I could just
Right.
bite you, but then opposed to the vampiric. Like,
But
with
is it
the
a
fangs.
werewolf? If it bites you anywhere, you're gonna get turned out.
Yeah, if a werewolf sucks your dick and shreds it like a carrot.
I'm under the impression that if a werewolf then now scratches you, it's just like one of those wounds that like heals, but like doesn't like, you know, it just fucking is real nasty and fucking gangrene looking like the rest of your fucking life.
So he has like plus 5 poison abilities,
Right?
Like a Gila Monster's mouth kind of thing.
But this is just one of those movies that, even though it's done in the 80s, it's fucking done really well, and it's kind of like it's got like a good homely feel to it with
it's
like
got
Uncle
the kind of
Red,
Amblin vibe,
like with fucking like Uncle Red and Marty like getting down and being friends and stuff like that. There's a lot.
Well,
of
I don't know
fun
if they were
stuff,
getting down, dude.
you know, like just a lot of fun shit going on. It's got some good vibes to it. You know, it's like apple pie kind of thing. You know, it's fun. Like, you know, Tarker's Mill is just a great fucking town, and then all this fucking terrible shit happens.
Like, we
I
joke
really
about
enjoy it.
hating the mom and the sister, but like in a pinch they pull through. They're not absolutely horrible. We need something to kind of
We've
about.
seen worse. So
Oh my god.
I just generally enjoy this fucking movie. I give it 9 wheelchairs out of 10. I just think it's high up there. I'm probably never going to give many, if any, things a 10 out of 10 on this show, but I do love this movie, and it is fucking high up there in, you know, fucking like horror movies, werewolf movies, like wherever you want to put it. I would always put this high on the list. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I could watch it I watch it all the time.
I think the only thing that could make this movie better would be some tits and a little more extended gore. And throwing a dick for variety, you know.
Right.
A werewolf dick. A metamorphosed werewolf dick. There we go.
So
that's the name of my punk band.
Any final thoughts before we end it out?
Yeah, actually, I need to make an editorial for the Fright Night episode we did. I was not in my right brain. I would like to make an editorial. We live in a society of werewolves. No, I'm just kidding. That's the end of the Howling. So Fright Night, they made they were going to make a series of they did make a series of comic books after the movie wrapped. They made part 2, and they were going to continue with these Fright Night films they were going to do as many sequels as possible. Well, here's the real kicker. So the producers of the third movie, well, if I say the name Menendez, does that sound familiar?
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, remember when their kids killed, you know, like the mom and dad?
The Menendez brothers.
Right.
For money.
Yes. So in the mid-90s, early 90s kind of thing. In case people don't know what this is, I don't know. Let me get a sip of Genius Juice.
We don't have to go into the whole thing, but just give us the cliff notes.
Well, so the dad was the Menendez producer. He was on board to make more movies. This little tiny hiccup occurred where he got murdered, so like he couldn't, you know, put any more money into it. So that sucks. But here's a fun fact: my uncle Jimmy, when he was out in Hollywood, kind of thing, like in the 90s, there's a show called Hard Copy, and if you remember Hard Copy, it's like that fucking TV show in Predator 2. Except not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they did like a reenactment of the Menendez brothers, and my uncle played one of the Menendez brothers.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. Shout out to Jimmy if you're listening. Probably not. You got a lot on your plate, dog.
So, yeah, before we end it out, just want to say, hey, thanks for checking us out. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. You can get us on Podbean or any other fucking place that you listen to your podcast. Just search Here Comes the Spooky. You can find us. We're also on Instagram at Here Comes the Spooky, Twitter and Facebook at Here Comes Spooky. You can email us at Gmail at HereComesTheSpooky@gmail.com. We just want to hear from you guys. Let us know if there's anything you want us to do, anything you'd like us to do more of, anything you'd like us to do less of. Just, any suggestions, anything you want us to talk about. Hit us up. We'd love to fucking hear from you. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and things like that. So we really appreciate it. Keep checking out the show.
We gonna talk about our next episode, or just kind of let that?
So our next episode, we are going to take you to the headquarters of Silver Shamrock, and we're gonna find out how they somehow stole Stonehenge.
Yeah, right.
So, keep it tight, keep it real,
and always
keep it spooky.
We still rolling?
Yeah, I did it on purpose because you weren't fucking paying attention earlier and being an asshole and be like, oh, is this where we do the thing? The fucking thing that we've done fucking 7 times already? Yeah, dickhead, it is. All right, you ready to do it together now,
yes. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Stay spooky!